help anybody. So why would we do that? Why wouldn't we just give a tax cut to the middle class and raise taxes on the wealthy instead of the inverse, or cutting taxes across the board?
Now let me ask you this: on Kamala's plan, to when she wanted to obviously stop the price gouging. Obviously, there's that's true. A lot of businesses charge a lot more than what they should. But wouldn't that trickle down? Like you just said, some things don't trickle down. Wouldn't that trickle down and hurt our pockets? Because it would create a supply and demand issue. If businesses are being taxed a lot more, they're probably going to stop making their products reasonable, or making so much quantity of it. So wouldn't that hurt us in that regard as well?
No, I have no idea why that would be. I don't know how you'd go from A to B there. That, Kamala Harris's price gouging plan would then lead to businesses producing less. The price gouging plan was only going after people and businesses that unfairly and illegally raise their prices to make a buck off of the American people, but doing so in a way that's harmful. So if companies are like raising their prices and following inflation, even if it's like a little bit above inflation, Kamala Harris is not saying, we have to go after you. But if you're raising your prices like 4 times the rate of inflation, we have a bit of a problem there, right? So Kamala Harris wanted to hold those people accountable, promote competition in the marketplace to bring prices down, whereas Donald Trump has no policy on this. You voted for a guy who has no policy in terms of, he talks about, inflation. He has no policy and has never told you how he's going to reduce inflation. Matter of fact, his policies are likely going to raise prices.
Kamala Harris didn't have policies listed on her website for like the first 2 months, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, so she...
I don't want to hear that argument.
So, yeah, she didn't have policies listed on her website for like a month or two because she just became the candidate. So they actually had to write up policies to put on her website. They're not just going to like take a week and just write a bunch of stuff up and just throw it up there. They're thoughtful about their policy. Policy development takes time. So she took the time to put out meaningful policy, and it's all on her website. But even before that, she announced a number of major pieces of policy, such as her price gouging plan, such as her housing plan. All this stuff was announced beforehand. You just didn't pay attention to what she was saying.
I paid a little bit of attention, but not much. But, the way I feel is the way, 73 million other Americans felt?
And the way I feel is the way that 72 million Americans felt. Joe Biden's margin in 2020, in terms of how much he beat your guy by, was bigger than how much Donald Trump won in 2024. He had like a 4.1 to 4.4% swing and win. Donald Trump is going to have like under 2%. So there's not this big mandate of which the American people just, the overwhelming majority side with Donald Trump. It's like you won by this much. Joe Biden won by this much more like.
And Kamala Harris didn't outperform Joe Biden anywhere. And, it just goes to show, too. I've seen a lot of people comment, too, if her campaign is $20 million in debt, how does that make Americans feel better about how she would have handled the economy?
Trump's campaign is $750,000 in debt stretching back to 2016.
Not on the numbers that I've seen for this campaign, for this election.
I'm just talking about generally. Trump is still in debt. Also, by the way,
the numbers have come out, and she's $20 million in debt because she paid celebrities millions of dollars to come perform at her.
It's not true.
I guess you can call them rallies, more so concerts. She paid their production teams. They got a cut too. All these celebrities got paid to be there.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
What celebrity was paid there?
It is true. We've all seen like a lot. It is true. They asked Oprah about it, and she came out and said that Oprah, Beyonce, Meg Thee Stallion, Eminem.
So none of them were paid. Oprah said that she was paid, first of all, $1 million for creating a studio.
Her production company was paid.
Yeah, so they can make the studio.
Her studio was paid in production company.
Yeah, the studio is so when you're making a studio, you have to pay to like make the studio and then pay the workers who make the studio.
You think that they're not getting a cut out of that too? If you think that none of these celebrities got a cut out of the money, you are truly blind.
Do you have any evidence that they have?
Truly blind.
Oh, really? Because
there's
Oprah
been
herself
on you getting paid too by the DNC.
You deny it all the time. Please show me the evidence. Show me the evidence. I'm getting paid.
I'm not bringing it up because there's been many videos and people brought it up on live before. They brought it up on live before because they paid companies that you were affiliated with, and you've seen that.
I'm asking for evidence that money has come to me. That's all I'm asking for.
I'm not gonna. I'm telling you what I've seen on your lives and other videos, and I know you've seen these live because they've been people you've debated, and I know you debate all the time. You probably don't remember, but it's the truth.
No, I know people have come up and said it, but just because people come up in a live and say something doesn't mean that it's the truth, right? So a lot of people will say something, a lot of people buy into conspiracy theories, but it doesn't mean that they have evidence to back it up. I'm just asking for evidence. And I've said the offer still stands that if anybody can prove I've taken money from the DNC, Holly, thank you for the sub. If anybody can prove that I've taken money from the DNC either directly or indirectly, I will delete my TikTok account.
And I'm pretty sure people have shown like evidence of the DNC paying companies you were affiliated with that you had in your profile for a long period of time.
Yeah, so when people
that you worked with. So if you're not getting money out of the companies that you work for, then how is that not proof?
So I don't work for them. The company that you're referencing is my management company. They work for me. I pay them. They don't pay me. I don't know why this is so difficult.
DNC. So how is the money that's public record going to that management company?
There was a payment to a company called Palette Media. I'm managed by a company called Palette Management. They're two different companies. And so for some reason, people out there think that they're the same thing and that the money from Palette Media came to me, but I pay the managers to manage me. I pay them. They don't pay me. That would make no sense. And also, the payment that's referenced was a payment before I was even signed to my management team. So I hadn't even joined the company yet as a creator. And also, there was only one payment dating back to, I think it was like in 2021 or 2022. So then, is the DNC paying me now in 2024, almost 2025? But the money's just not showing up magically.
It's like, come on. I would be willing to bet that a lot of these creators are getting paid in some form or fashion, because it seems like you, Parker, Dean, none of you guys ever have anything negative to say about your candidates, which is asinine.
I've disagreed with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris before.
You've never said anything negative about them that I've ever seen. And
okay, let me do something right now. I disagree with Joe Biden's TikTok ban. I think that was like a really ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah, horrible. Thank you. I mean, that's I like it. Thank you. That's all you have to do.
So there you go. So but I've said this before. So I've said it multiple times. I've said it very publicly.
The whole point of me getting on here is I feel like your post and a lot of these other people's posts is just they fear monger and cause more division amongst people. I think that's all you guys do, and you make money off of it. You make money off of it. You get views off of it.
But please, I mean, just like it's so frustrating when I hear Republicans or Trump voters, I should say, Trump voters say like, "Oh, it's fear mongering, it's division." You voted for the most divisive figure in American politics who has called people like me the enemy. He said that he wants to lock up Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Michelle Obama, all these different people. He's called Democrats vermin, which is a phrase that Mustache Man used in World War II. Grief, thank for the sub. You cannot come up here and be, oh, I want unity. I hate the division. I hate the fear mongering, when Trump has been doing that for his entire career in politics. And with that, you overlook it.
I don't overlook it. I think Trump's an asshole. I never voted for him. I never once said he's an asshole that he's who he is. That's not like you're going to get the truth out of Trump because that's who he is. He's his person. But when you have Kamala or Joe Biden, more so Kamala, she's going to lie and spread false hopes to people that are never going to happen. Your rights are being taken away. The abortion ban, Project 2025, things that Trump has multiple times said he is against.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So Donald Trump can say this will be the last election ever if Kamala Harris wins. Like the communists are going to take over America. And when he does that, you don't call it fear mongering. You just say it's his personality. But when Kamala Harris correctly points out that Donald Trump has dictatorial tendencies and that there was an entire playbook written up for him by the Heritage Foundation, that's fear mongering and she's evil. Do you not hear the hypocrisy in that?
Did I say that Trump doesn't fearmonger? I just said Trump is more of an authentic person because he just rattles off the top.
So you're holding a different standard for two people. Like even if that's just who somebody is, then you would acknowledge that Donald Trump, as part of his personality, fearmongers all the time.
I wouldn't say so. Not like the other candidates do.
Okay, so again, I just want to point out that Trump said the communists are going to take over, that it's the end of America if Kamala Harris wins, that the economy is going to crash, that the stock market's going to crash, that we're going to enter a deep, dark recession if Kamala Harris wins. He also said the exact same thing in 2020 when Joe Biden won.
Yeah, and the last 4 years have not been good for anybody, and the vast majority of people can agree with that.
It's just not true.
It is true. When
No,
you
I'm
talk
sorry.
to
It's just not true.
when you talk to business owners in 2020 through 2024 versus 2016 through 2020, they tell you a completely, vastly different story.
Yeah, except did Donald Trump make the economy better? Like, what did he do? And what did Joe Biden do to hurt the economy? Like, think about this critically. See, you don't exactly right. You don't have an answer. The reason you don't have an answer is because there is none. Donald Trump didn't do anything to make the economy better, and Joe Biden didn't do anything to make the economy worse. So from what the president can control. So
Sorry,
from what the
go ahead.
president can control, what they can actually do, what's in their purview, Joe Biden has been an amazing president. He's not Superman. He can't snap his fingers and everybody's kumbaya prancing through fields and they're all holding bags of cash. And he can't just magically bring down the inflation rate. But what Joe Biden can do is try to get policy passed and be a good commander in chief. He succeeded in both of those aspects. Donald Trump, in things he can control, failed.
And that's your opinion. And in 2016 to 2020, I think the mass majority of people would say their life was better. When people are interviewed on the streets, they say their life was better versus the
why?
last 4 years.
Yeah, but why?
I'm not a policy expert. I don't know the policies like the back of my hand like you do. I
You don't got to be a policy
I'm not going to
expert.
sit here and say, I don't sit here and research policies. I can only go based off of what I feel and what others around me feel. That is it.
And that's a really bad way to vote, respectfully, because when you go off of how you feel, you're not taking in the entire story. So you could feel that Donald Trump was so great for the economy and Joe Biden was so bad for it, and that influences your vote. But the reality is, none of those facts are true. None of those facts are true.
Like, because some of that policy that Joe Biden and his, party were affiliated with and passed, immigration policy, horrible for the country.
Didn't pass any
Absolutely
immigration
horrible
policy.
for the country. How many immigrants were coming into the country willy-nilly up until 4 months ago?
They didn't pass any immigration policy.
Exactly, because they always and you guys like to claim too. They tried to pass it, but Donald Trump and his MAGA buddies declined the bill. It's
Yes, they did.
It's not just one issue on the bill, though, is it?
They sunk the immigration bill. That was
What else
bipartisan.
was on that bill?
There was nothing else added to the bill. It was strictly an immigration bill.
It was not strictly an immigration bill.
Yes, it was. I know what you're going to say, that Ukraine funding was attached to it. Wrong. They actually separated the bills. So the foreign policy funding passed overwhelmingly. Republicans also voted for that foreign policy funding. But what was left was the immigration portion of the bill, and Republicans rejected it. Within 5 minutes of the bill being released, the text that's over 300 pages, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, and Steve Scalise, who was the whip, said it won't get a vote. They won't even bring it to the floor for debate.
I don't think I've ever once seen or heard of a single issue bill.
Well, it was a broad bill in terms of immigration.
But that's why I'm asking what else was on it. And you say nothing. If it's just an immigration bill, then so be it. I'm wrong, and I'll believe you. That I'm wrong on that. But I don't believe that it was just a one issue, just immigration solely on that bill.
It was an immigration bill. They separated the Ukraine funding, the Israel funding, the Taiwan funding, and they passed that. And then the immigration bill was all that was left, because it was once one big bill. And then they separated it because the Republicans were never going to vote for the immigration portion of it. So they separated so they could get the Ukraine funding passed. And the Republicans left that immigration bill to die. And it would have done a lot of things of which I know for a fact you would agree with. But instead of trying to fix it, Donald Trump stood in the way. And so you're saying, well, Joe Biden didn't do anything on the border. Again, he's not Superman. He has to work with Congress to get policy passed. And if your party is sitting there saying, no, sorry, we will not pass it, then he can't do anything. He's not God.
I didn't say he was. I didn't say he could snap his fingers. And, I'm looking at a lot of the comments too, saying I'm wrong. I'm clearly saying, guys, if I'm wrong, if just an immigration bill, obviously I'm wrong. I get it. But I guess we can let someone else jump in here. So
All right, man.
it's been good.
You have a good one. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise, bro. Hold on now. Yo, Paige, thank you for the $5. Your absolute amazing patience with insane people. I appreciate that. We try, Paige. Sometimes it's not so patient. Daisy, thank you for the... Again, Daisy, I can't read that out on live. I cannot read that on live. I cannot do that. Annie, thank you for the $10, but I appreciate the $1. Annie, thank you for the $10. No message. Sierra, thank you for the $150. What the fuck? Yo, please, Sierra... please give Sierra some W's in the chat for the $150. That is so incredibly kind. Please fill the chat with W's for her. Golly, W Sierra, W Sierra. Sierra, I also don't know your Snapchat, so you'll have to like send me what it is because I can't respond or anything because I don't know what your Snapchat is. But I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the $150. Fill the chat with W's. And Cameron, thank you for the $2. Make a Discord server. A lot of people are asking me to do that, so maybe that's something we do. Anyway, Alex, thank you for the $5. Hi, Harry. At first, I wasn't a big Trump supporter of either side, but leaned to Trump. When Kamala said that she planned to cut taxes for 100 million Americans and push me to vote blue while most Latino family voted red. Regardless, thank you for all that you do and keep educating. Well, Alex, I'm glad to hear that you voted for Kamala Harris. That's amazing. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy's name is Educated MAGA. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. But maybe I'll bring them up just because the name is funny. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you. Deborah, thank you for the $3.
Yo, what's good, Harry?
Oh, yeah. You have to get out. Sorry. Thank you for the $3, Deborah. Thank you for your facts, Harry, for being so you, and you're stronger, smarter, and brighter than those debater challengers, and you give them the 100% facts. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you. It's incredibly kind. Shauna, thank you for the $5. There's a big group of us who are desperate for you to get on Discord. On behalf of the group, please get a Discord. Well, there you go. That's pretty in line with what we were just reading. Also, let me know if you're MAGA in the chat, and I'll. Who was that? I think that they're. I think they just sounded. You have to be above the age of 18. So. Shauna, oh, sorry, I just read your Shauna. Sydney, thank you for the $10. Also, thank you for helping me realize I want to switch my major to either political science or economics. Congratulations, Sydney. You'll thrive in either. Bridget, thank you for the $3. They just don't get it. MAGA has zero empathy. They are so angry and resort to insults when they have no knowledge to back up their feelings with facts. They need to educate themselves. Well, I appreciate that. And thank you, Bridget, for your $3. And Sydney, thank you for the $100. Oh my God. Fill the chat with W's for Sydney. Thank you for everything that you do. It means a lot for me, and especially after you said you would look at my friend's case. It means so much. Justice for Jackson, trying to get his name out. Yeah, Sydney, again, make sure to, you can drop the link on Venmo. I don't think I was able to find your Instagram, but drop the link on Venmo. I'll definitely take a look. So thank you for your $100. Fill the chat with W's for Sydney. It means a lot. I appreciate you. And Sarah, thank you for the $10. Hey, Harry, I wonder if it would try to help out a prompt that's just an economic or political term, such as when do tariffs work or what does the Department of Education do? Maybe MAGA would be more open to learning instead of just defending themselves. That's a good idea. I like that, Sarah. Thank you for the $10. Virginia, thank you for the $2. Hi, Harry. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Sending love. I really don't know how you deal with crazy people. Well, you get used to it. Get used to it. Ashley, thank you for the $5. Harry, I say this in the nicest way possible. You look like a little cutesy elf on the shelf. Bro, I just got cooked. I can't even lie. Also, please get a Discord. Ashley, I appreciate you. Thank you. Anyway, all right. And I'll read a bunch of these in just a second. I want to make sure that I'm not making this person way too much. EON, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you vote for Trump?
Well, here's the thing. Did it ever occur to you that the only reason why Trump won was because of you?
No.
You do understand that, right?
No,
and the reason why I say that is because you sat here week in and week out. You told the entire TikTok platform that Kamala Harris was going to ban peanut butter. I was telling you she was not. You told her
get out of here. It's a troll, man. I should have made him wait longer. Yo, Shyla, thank you for the $3. Biggest fan ever. Love you. Love you back. I appreciate you being here and watching and supporting and all that good stuff. It means the world. Audrey, thank you for the $1. I watch your videos whenever I get delusional and think I miss my Trump supporting ex. Don't go back to them. Do not go back to them. Do not. Come on, man. Do not. Don't do that. I appreciate you. Lucy, thank you for the $2. I love you. I love you back, Lucy. Raul, thank you for the $2. Hey, Harry, how's it going? Huge fan. I would love to have you on my podcast. I'm currently in the job market. I would love to help with any projects. Could we set up a call sometime tomorrow or early next week? I'm a little busy tomorrow, but I love going on podcasts, so maybe we can make that happen. Kim, thank you for the $20. Fighting the good fight. You are too, Kim. I hope you know that. I appreciate you. James, thank you for the $5. Hey, Harry, can you let me up in the live? If you are MAGA, we'll definitely get you up here. Jared, thank you for the $1. Matt Gates is probably can't say that word on TikTok, but I agree. Noel, thank you for the $1. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you. And finally, Desta, thank you for the $1. Showing love. I appreciate you, Desta. All right, man. Are you MAGA?
Yeah, we've actually talked before.
And you voted for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Well, isn't that just such a goddamn shame? Well,
to be fair, it was Florida. It wasn't going to change anything.
You have congressional races, all that good stuff. So, do you have anything new? I mean, I know you said we've spoken before. Do you have something new you want to talk about?
When we spoke, I was supporting RFK, and then
Okay. So why did you end up voting for Trump, my man?
well, because has the backing of RFK. I like some of the stuff he was going for. I just mainly wanted to come up here because, I just want to kind of rub it in your face that you're going to be out of a job in a few months.
What job do you think I have that won't exist?
You're a little DNC little boy. You get paid by the DNC.
Okay. So do you have any evidence on I'm currently getting paid by the DNC?
You never did, but
do you have any evidence on I'm currently getting paid by the DNC?
Actually, yeah, I can. I can pull it up. Give me a minute.
Go for it. Go for it. I'm eager to see this evidence. Again, the offer still stands. While we wait, Julia, thank you for the $1. Add me on Snap. Maybe I will. I add people back on Snap all the time, so maybe I will. Maybe I will. Elizabeth, thank you for the $5. I was going to vote for Trump until I educated myself. Then I became horrified. Thanks for being a spokesperson for women's health. I appreciate you. I hear that all the time. First of all, thank you for your support, but also that, people thought they were going to vote for Trump or leaning Trump. And they're like, oh, God. By the way, if this evidence was so pertinent and clear and relevant, he'd probably be back by now, but he's not. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Oh, he left. He just left. Yeah, that's always good, man. That's always good. I always love that. Yo, everybody, do me a favor. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already, and go follow on all the different social media platforms. I post on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat. All of those links are in my bio. All those usernames are also Harry J. Sisson. Yeah. All right. If you are Trump, concepts of evidence. I love that, Angela. I appreciate that. If you're a Trump voter, you voted for Donald Trump, request up or type it in the box. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. I'm only on Facebook and TikTok. I also just made a Facebook account today because people. Oh, and Blue Sky. I'm also on Blue Sky, Helen, but my username is real Harry J. Sisson. I also just made a Facebook account today because there's people impersonating me on Facebook. They have they post my tweets and my TikToks on Facebook. I'm like, what the fuck? And I reported it to Facebook, and they're like, oh, there's no violation. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Gary, you voted for Trump?
No, I just have something to say. Somebody posted something about Obamacare. I wasn't able to afford healthcare because I'm middle to low class during Obamacare, and they taxed the crap out of me at the end of the year.
I don't even know. Wait, what are you saying? So that Obamacare raised your taxes?
No, yeah, they taxed me completely to oblivion. I didn't get anything under when Obamacare was going on.
Did you sign up for Obamacare or no?
No, I wasn't able to.
Was it because there was an individual mandate still there?
I think so.
Okay, so the individual mandate doesn't exist anymore.
But the point is somebody said something about it, and I think they're completely wrong because I got nothing back in my taxes.
Well, who said this? So who are you talking about?
One of your followers did.
So you came up in the live to just respond to somebody in the comments who said something about Obamacare?
Pretty much.
It's like peak hater behavior, bro. Peak hater behavior. This is great. You're also wrong. You didn't get taxed because Obamacare existed. There was an individual mandate which tried to get people like yourself to have health care. And you just chose not to have healthcare. This is like peak hating behavior.
I couldn't afford healthcare.
Hey, buddy. Well, I'm sorry. What do you mean you couldn't afford healthcare? Signing up for Obamacare was free.
I didn't have the time to. I was working 70-hour weeks.
Okay, so that's okay. Do you not fucking hear yourself? I mean, we're so cooked as a country. Hey, do me a favor, just get the hell out of live, all right? I can't even believe what I just heard, bro. I can't even believe what I just heard, bro. That's actually crazy, dude. Yo, Allison, thank you for another $1. Will never not be funny to me that men think they can have a say in what women do with their bodies and get mad when you speak on it as if you're not fighting for us. You're so silly. I know, Allison. I totally agree. Nicole, thank you for the $5. I know a guy with a bus in California. They want to get rid of dairy farms. No, for real. Thanks for calling these morons out. Yo, Nicole, I appreciate you. God, we have some crazy people that come in here. What's up, my man?
So did you change your vote there, Harry?
Did I change my vote?
Yeah.
What do you mean change my vote?
Did you decide to come back to the winning side and go for the Republicans now?
I've never been on the Republican side.
And why not?
Because right now, well, first of all, even from the beginning, before Trump was in the Republican Party, my values don't align with the Republican Party, and my morals don't align with the Republican Party, and my policy beliefs don't either. But especially now, when you're led by like a lunatic and you're led by a literal criminal, yeah, there's no goddamn way I'd ever support Donald Trump.
So you don't believe in God or a good economy or good family values?
I am currently agnostic / atheist. I believe in a good economy. I'm happy to have good family values. I support that, of course, but that doesn't make you a Republican.
But do you understand that the woman that was running for president went through $1.1 billion?
Her name is Vice President Kamala Harris. Hey buddy, she's not she's not the woman that ran for president. Her name is Vice President Kamala Harris. She's currently the Vice President of the United States. Just as a heads up, I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
The one that was running for president.
And her name was?
$1.1 billion.
And her name was?
$20 million.
Hey, what was, wait, who, remind me what her name was? Remind me what her name was?
Come Swalla Harris.
Oh, see? Oh, you have to go to misogyny because you're such a little small man and your wife doesn't like you anymore. You say, wife, why don't you sleep in the same bed anymore? She said, well, I can't fit with the Trump-sized body pillow that you've brought to the bed. You don't wash it and it takes up my side of the bed, and she's leaving with the kids, all right? And I'm going to make that happen, and I'm going to do the same to you. Now get the hell out of the live. Sydney, thank you for sending the Instagram link with the $2. I appreciate you. Shanzi, thank you for the 46. Don't do Discord, comes with drama. I've heard about that before. Alicia, thank you for the $5. DNC, I appreciate that. Isabel, thank you for the... Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. I apologize. I probably shouldn't have said that to that guy. I just, I hate when I hear shit like that, man. Sorry about that. That was my bad. The wife, she took the kids. They're gone. Sorry. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. All right, Isabel, thank you for the $11. He doesn't reply on Snap. Don't let him. I do reply on Snap. I feel like I have replied on Snap. Isabel, I just don't know your Snap. I will reply if I know. Coming from someone whose face is always red pink, I also see the elf on the shelf. Come on, bro. See, Emma says I reply on Snap. Thank you. Let's bring up Olga. Invite her. William says he's MAGA. Let's give William an invite. Here comes William. Alex, thank you for the $1. What's your thoughts on Nick Fuentes' new video? Haven't seen it. Don't care. To be honest, I hate that guy. What was that? You just say like F me. Come on, bro. What's up, Olga? Are you MAGA?
Hey, Harry. I am MAGA.
God, what a terrible thing to hear. You just ruined my day. Why?
Okay. We can still have a conversation, though.
No, I know. I'm just being humorous. Why'd you vote for Trump?
Okay. I will tell you exactly why I voted for Trump. I came here in '89 with my family as a refugee.
From where? Out of curiosity.
From Russia. Mm-hmm. 1 of 10 kids. And it took us about 4 months to get here. And when we left, we were actually, our citizenship was revoked, our Russian citizenship. And to this day, I'm still not a Russian citizen, but neither here nor there. And we were vetted. We were vetted severely. We didn't just get a one-way ticket into America. We had to go through 4 different countries to get here. And at the end of the day, we didn't even know if we were going to end up here. But, luckily, through the vetting process, we were able to come as refugees and, had to pass to get a citizenship. I had to take, a civics exam, all of that. And, I have to tell you that I am disheartened by the fact that, having gone through the process, and I consider my family very blessed, first of all. I know you said that you're an atheist, which is fine. I'm not going to hold that against you. But I believe that God, for my family specifically, gave us a chance to kind of have a new life. And we all are successful. We worked really hard. You know, my father, because of communism, said, when we get here, we're not going to live off the government, you know, and we all had to work hard. Nobody was giving us handouts. And, you know, back in the day, there weren't a lot of Russian immigrants coming through. So there wasn't such a thing as like, you know, here's a, you know, I don't know, some sort of grant for being a Russian immigrant. You know, you just kind of had to work hard and get through. And I went to a very good school for journalism, by the way. And like I said, having gone through that process and being vetted, it really did like open up my eyes to what it is to be a true immigrant. And I know that people say, oh, you know, aliens or illegal aliens. I don't want to, you know, potato. Bottom line is, we did not just get on a plane and come here. It took us months. And prior to that, it was a 4-year process to even get approved. So I just think that it is so disrespectful to just say, screw the laws. I'm going to come here regardless and, you know, become a burden on the government. It's not okay in my opinion. So this immigration issue alone is definitely something that is near and dear to my heart. And if we could do it with 10 kids, you know, and make something of ourselves and really, you know, persevere in this country, I think everybody should have the chance. But please, for the love of God, go through the proper channels. Those, one more thing, those proper channels still exist to this day. And believe it or not, Harry, because of everything being so much quicker now, not just like snail mail, whatever, you can get, you know, things processed so much quicker. You just have to get vetted and come through the proper channels.
Everything you just described leads me to believe that you should be voting for Democrats. I don't know why on earth you'd be voting for Donald Trump if you're describing your experience as such. Because you're saying, oh, when I was trying to come to the United States as a Russian immigrant, it took me 4 months. You're saying that timeline is absurd, right?
I'm not saying that timeline is absurd. I'm saying
So
back in
you're happy it took 4 months as opposed to maybe going sooner?
Harry, that was the process at the time is what I'm saying.
No, I know. This is going right over your head. I'm asking you, do you think that 4 month timeline was appropriate? Do you wish it would have been shorter for you to be able to come to the United States?
Do I wish it would have been shorter? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have nothing but fond memories of being in different countries and like, you know, got to learn a little bit of Italian because we were there for 2 months. Got to see the world a little bit. I still remember it. And I'll tell you what, do I wish it was shorter is a silly question to ask because back in the day, there wasn't another option. And wait, you missed
okay,
my
but
point.
I need like,
okay, you missed my point. You missed my point. Today,
I heard many of them.
Today, it is a lot shorter of a period. All I'm saying is...
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It can take years for somebody. This is the point. It can take years for somebody coming into the United States. And I mean,
that's fine. It took us
hold on.
years.
No, it's not fine. It's not fine. What are you talking about?
It
It's fine.
So
it can take years for people coming into the United States.
And
At the end of what you just said, your speech, you said go through the proper channels. People do, and it takes years for them to do it. So the Democrats are the people saying, hey, you know, let's make this system more efficient. Let's expedite this process. So if you go through the proper channels, it should be easier for you to come into the country and you get vetting and all that stuff. Way easier. If you have your proper documentation, let's speed up that process. And also, you keep saying, oh, it's so unfair that all of these people came in and they're doing this in this way. The majority of people who have come in the past couple of years are legal. They're through the asylum process. They're refugees seeking asylum.
I'm not talking about asylees. I'm not talking about those people.
Well, that's the overwhelming majority of people who have come in the past couple of years. So then you're talking about a minority of people. And if a minority of people, and I mean a small minority of people, made you vote for Donald Trump, then I think that's just silly.
No, it's not a small minority. You're wrong about that, Harry. Harry, you're wrong about that. Because I'll tell you right now, Harry, I currently work with so many illegals who literally broke the law by coming here illegally. It is breaking the law, Harry.
Wait. What do you do? What do you do?
It does not matter. It does not matter. I don't want to give too much information.
It does matter. What do you do?
Okay, I work in the hospitality industry, and I'll tell you what.
Okay, you work in the hospitality industry. Are you saying that they like, this is like hotels and stuff like that?
Restaurant hotels.
Sure, yes. Restaurant hotels.
And by the way,
are you aware, and you voted for Trump, are you aware that you just voted for all those people you work with to be deported?
Guess what? If they get deported, I'm so sorry, but you broke the law. You broke the law. Those people that are
Wow,
wait.
you're just a ray of sunshine, aren't you?
Wait. Listen, I work with plenty of people that have been on the list to become asylum seekers, and they get their paperwork eventually, and they get to stay, they get to make the money. But it is not fair for people who are waiting to become citizens, who are waiting to go through the process, to be put on the back burner because of all these other people.
Nobody's
that are
put on the
breaking
back
law.
burner. You don't get
Yes,
put on the
they
back
are.
burner. If
Yes,
an
they
asylum
are.
seeker comes in, that doesn't mean that your application to become an American citizen suddenly takes longer and you're actually put on the back burner.
Actually, you know what it is?
No.
The system
I'm
is
sorry,
so
Olga, I'm
overwhelmed.
sorry. I will not let you interrupt me after you spoke for like 26 minutes the first time. So please
Actually,
just
it was
stop talking. I can
27. It was
guarantee whatever
27
interjection
minutes.
is happening, it's just not that important.
It was 27
This does not
minutes.
happen. This does not. No, really? I thought it was 26 minutes on the dot. I was totally being serious when I said
I
that.
timed it, but okay.
Yeah. So you timed it?
Yeah, it was 27 minutes.
Oh, Olga. I mean, your humor is just impeccable.
Thanks.
So this doesn't happen when somebody seeks asylum. A legal application to become like a citizen or something like that, or to obtain a green card or a work permit, does not get put on the back burner. There's no they're two different agencies. There's immigration courts that deal with people who are seeking asylum, and Border Patrol directly as soon as at the ports of entry deal with asylum seekers. But that's a different group of people than those who are doing citizenship and then green cards and work permits and things like that. So there's no connection between the two, and also just the what you just said, like, oh yeah, these people who are working, they're working jobs, they're just trying to support their families that you work alongside. If they get deported, well, sorry, that's just the way it is. That is such an evil attitude, and it's coming from somebody. Coming from somebody who's an immigrant yourself. I would hope that you would know better, that those people are just like you and your family, who wanted an opportunity, wanted to work a job, wanted to support themselves, and maybe they came from a bad area where there was crime, there was gangs that was targeting them and their family, and those parents did everything they could. They couldn't get in the United States legally, so they turned to do whatever they could to get their kids into a safe space, and they got into the United States, and all they're trying to do is just support their kids. But we have privileged people like you sitting here saying, well, I had the privilege of coming here legally. Hold on, I'm not done yet, Olga. I'll mute you if I have to.
I am not privileged.
No, sorry. You had the privilege of coming in here in 4 months and saying, oh, well, I got to go to Italy and I got to learn Italian during that time. I got to sit around and learn Italian before I came to the United States. You have the privilege of having that opportunity. There are some people who come from war-torn countries who didn't have the same opportunity you did. And you're sitting here all high and mighty working in the hospitality industry saying, well, if you get deported, too bad, so sad. It's so gross. It's so gross, the attitude that you guys have toward people who are just trying to make a better life for themselves. Hey, Olga, how about instead of deporting them, we give them a pathway to citizenship? So these hardworking people who represent American values get to stay here legally, because some of these people have kids, they have families here, they've been staying in the United States for years, and they've established themselves here. But no, Olga says deport them. God, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Like, oh my God. Bro.
I listened to you. You muted me. Can I just finish with this rebuttal?
Yes, you can speak now. Yes.
There is actually a big difference between, you said that I'm privileged. No. We were not privileged. 1 of 10 kids is not privileged. We were literally living in a basement, the whole entire family. There were times where we starved. It was not easy, Harry.
Well, I'm not talking about your financial situation back then.
Wait. I'm not talking. Listen, let me finish, please.
But you're misinterpreting what I said to you.
You said 4 months. I said it took 4 months to get here, but the process took 4 years to get approved to come here. 4 years.
And you support that?
You asked me if I supported that, and I said whatever it takes to get here. And guess what?
That's also not what I asked.
You did. Your very first
I asked if you think it should have been shorter. I asked if you think it should have been shorter.
And you know what? Here's what I'll tell you. It took as long as it needed to. But we didn't just get on a plane and say, you know what, screw the process. We didn't just get on a plane and say, screw the process. We waited, Harry. Neither
are they.
So what's up with all of those illegal crossings? What do you call those?
I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. So the crossings in recent years, the majority of them have been people seeking asylum. And there are, of course, people who come in undocumented. But we know that all these people, the people that come in undocumented, just because they came in undocumented doesn't automatically mean that they're a bad person. Right?
I didn't say that.
And I know you didn't say that. I'm just clarifying. It doesn't mean that they should be deported automatically or anything like that. Although we want secure borders, I'm not quoting you right now. We should have secure borders and things like that. No problem. But it doesn't mean that these people are bad people automatically. And so the illegal crossings and people just like walking across the border without permission to do so doesn't actually make up anywhere near the majority of people coming across the border in recent years. So when you're saying like all these undocumented people here, it in recent years it doesn't actually mean anything. It's not a significant amount of people. But there are 11 million people here who are undocumented over many, many, many years, coming in many different administrations, and you're an advocate for deporting all of them, which is so stupid.
I'm an advocate for deporting the ones that do not follow the law, people that break the law. For example, how do you feel about people that break the law, illegal immigrants that break the law? How do you feel about them? I'm not talking about. I'm asking you, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. If an undocumented migrant like unalives somebody, like takes the life of somebody, I have no problem with them being deported. But please stop pretending like you care about people breaking the law. You voted for a convicted. No, you do not. No, you do not. You voted for a convicted felon. Hold on. You voted for a convicted felon who has buddies around him who are also convicted felons. You cannot come up here and say, well, what about the immigrants that break the law if you yourself are voting for people who break the law? I'm sorry. There's a felon in the White House now because of you.
I researched that with great depth. And you know what? All of those charges are complete bogus charges. They are. I'm sorry, but they are.
So
come on, grow up.
Pick a case.
Raspberry noises, really? Whatever. Do you need to do that?
You pick a case, and you can tell me which case you thought was most egregious.
Fine. Let's talk about all of those women that he supposedly assaulted.
That's not a criminal case.
Okay, but people
pick a
love
criminal
to say,
case. Pick a criminal case.
Okay, what about I don't know, tax? Those taxes, whatever.
There's no tax criminal case against him.
I'm sorry, campaign funds. Do you tell me who, like, look at Kamala Harris. She's $20 million in debt. Do you think it's okay that she was paying people to interview her? Do you think that that's okay?
So she wasn't paying anybody to interview her. They paid for a
setup.
They paid for a studio to be set up.
It cost
and by
$1
the way,
million.
Olga, I just asked you.
It cost $1 million. It cost $1 million.
Yeah, because you know why? You have to buy. You have to like set up a studio that's also secure within like Secret Service guidelines, and you also have to pay the employees who are setting that up because Kamala Harris actually wants to pay employees, unlike Donald Trump. Now I asked you to like name. You said you investigated and researched these criminal cases in depth. So name a criminal case, any one. You get to choose, and let's talk about it. And you can tell me what's BS about them.
Okay, all of those funds that he supposedly misappropriated.
Yes.
They came out and said, actually, he didn't really do anything wrong on that. He didn't break the law because you know what? Everybody else, every other person that ever ran for president did the same exact thing.
Who said this?
I mean, let's talk about Joe Biden. What about all of those? They said he's too old. He's too old to be prosecuted. They said same exact issue. They said,
oh my God, Olga, you're like combining 9 different cases at once.
Okay, I'm just giving you examples.
But wait, the case that you're citing, the investigation into Joe Biden you're citing, which by the way concluded with no illegal behavior was found.
Same exact. He was
it has nothing to do with the criminal convictions of Donald Trump. They're 2 totally separate crimes. One's also federal, one's also state.
Same thing.
It's not the same thing. Look, you're talking about a criminal conviction of Donald Trump, which involved a state law that he was convicted of, versus an investigation into Biden's handling of classified documents, of which he was exonerated of wrongdoing. But if you want to talk about the classified document case against Donald Trump, I'm happy to do that, because if that would have gone to trial, he would have been convicted like that.
Okay, so what about all of those classified documents that were found in Joe Biden's garage or whatever?
Yeah, so this conversation should not focus on Joe Biden, because the validity of the criminal case... Olga, please stop talking. The validity of the criminal case against Donald Trump has nothing to do with the validity of the case against Joe Biden, right? They're 2 totally different cases. Now, they're not the same thing, and I'll explain how they're not the same thing. But you have to sit and listen, because it might take a second. So with Joe Biden, JW, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. I appreciate you. Yes, you do. I guarantee.
Listen, we started on immigration.
Olga,
why are we talking about criminal?
Because you brought up. I brought up the fact that you voted for a felon, and you said that you researched these cases in depth. So let's talk about the cases. You I wish. Can you please just stop talking? I wish Law of the Wild was here, because he would know this phrase. Open the door. You open the door to have this conversation. Olga, please.
You're being sexist.
Olga, please stop talking. Please stop talking.
Okay, see, that's sexist.
How is that sexist? How is that sexist? You just keep yapping. You just keep yapping about things you don't understand. Now let's talk about the criminal case against Donald Trump with the classified documents. Please don't pull that card on me. Please don't try to pull that card on me.
But every other female gets to if she's
so much nicer in here. Now, Olga, you've lost your ability to speak in the live for now, unfortunately. So with the investigation into Joe Biden, the classified documents, they were investigating documents that Biden took as senator and vice president, except the investigation concluded that Biden didn't do any of this intentionally. There was no willful knowledge or willful intent in terms of taking these documents from the White House or from the Senate into a place that they shouldn't be. Joe Biden had no knowledge that these documents were here. It's often the case that when senators are packing up their offices or vice presidents or presidents are packing up their offices, that they just shove documents into a folder or a box and they just pack them up and get out, because there is a timeline. You can't just lull around and pack everything up nice and slow. You have to be out, especially at the White House. There's a pretty strict deadline on that on Inauguration Day. So that's number one. So the special counsel that was a Republican prosecutor found no evidence that Joe Biden did this with intent or did it knowingly and willfully, right? And that's what you have to prove in order to convict somebody of a document related crime. But with Donald Trump, on the other hand, he's literally on audio acknowledging that he had classified documents. He said, "This document is classified. I could have declassified it, but I didn't. It's top secret." Those are his words. We also have evidence that him and his other buddies like Walt Nauta were conspiring to keep the documents at Mar-a-Lago. Walt Nauta, on the day that the FBI came to retrieve the classified documents, moved 60 boxes from the main living area of Mar-a-Lago to Trump's private residence, and then only moved around 30 boxes back, meaning that Donald Trump kept around 30 to 36 documents which included classified documents. There's also video of these boxes being moved, which Donald Trump tried to have destroyed, but failed to do so because those videos were subpoenaed and collected by federal investigators. And the evidence is plentiful here. That's why these cases are not the same. Joe Biden cooperated, Donald Trump didn't. Now, Olga, you got to come back to TikTok Live because we can't hear you when you're off the app. And she just left because she was screaming, she was shouting, but she was also very wrong. And often, those are things that go together hand in hand. Loud, screaming, but wrong. Oh, man. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know. Come up in the box. We'll talk to you. Edith, thank you for the $2. Love your lives. Thanks for being an advocate for women. Never stop the lives. Yo, Edith, I appreciate you so much. I also want Olga to come back. I wasn't done. Michael, thank you for the $1. Sorry it's $1 I'm poor, but wanted to send something. Thanks for everything you do. Michael, I'm going to send the $1 back to you, buddy. Please, come on, man. Save your money, man. I just appreciate the fact that you're here. If you're just here supporting, that means more to me than anything. So I'm going to send you your $1 back. If you are MAGA, let me know. I'll bring you up and we can talk. And you can tell me why. When facts are shared about Trump, it falls on deaf ears. Unfortunately, seems to be the case. Noah says he's MAGA. Let's give Noah an invite. MK, let's give MK an invite. Oh, here comes somebody. Roland, thank you for the thank you for the $3. I appreciate you. Emma, thank you for the 5. I love the attitude. Petition to be sassy more. Well, I think we saw that with Olga. Brandon, thank you for the $3. Keep up the hard fight, stud. Love you much, Harry. Yo, Brandon, I appreciate it, man. The love is mutual. I appreciate you being here. Becky, thank you for the $10. Love from a single mom. Thanks for what you do for women. Love you. Becky, I appreciate you. Keep fighting out there, all right? That goes a long way. And Roland, thank you for the other $5. Edith, as I said, thank you for the $2. We're friend. I'm just on delivered. Oh, I know. Yeah, okay, I got you. Daisy, thank you for another $1. I appreciate that. And hello, are you MAGA?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm with the other 74 million people that are MAGA too. That's why. And that's why we won.
Okay, one sec. Sydney, thank you for the $3. My dad keeps telling me to trust him when it comes to Trump, but I knew if I didn't, he's going to screw us over. I'll never be able to trust my dad again. I've heard, a lot of families are breaking up right now. James, thank you for the $1. It's Jimbo. I'm in the box. We'll try to get you up here. Nicole, thank you for the $1. John Ossa for president, and I'm so serious. Follow me, Nikki Rose on Blue Sky. We'll have to do that. Chrissy, thank you for the $3. What do you think about Matt Gaetz stepping down from Congress? I have a lot of thoughts on that. More, I'll share in just a second. Anna, thank you for the $5. If you ever make merch, please make hoodies from the Parker Discord Gang and Dean NC. I appreciate that, Anna. Noted. Isabel, don't read out loud. Oh, yes, Isabel. I will. I got you. I'm going to screenshot it now. Sorry, I remember it. Taylor, thank you for the $5. Thanks for all that you do. Taking the time to debate with so much ignorance. It does make a difference, though. Well, I appreciate that. Ami, thank you for the $1. I'll never understand the I suffered so you should suffer too mindset. Hardship is supposed to make you more empathetic, not less. I agree. I never understood that either. Don, thank you for the $3. Thanks for what you do. Thankful I'm in Washington State bleeding blue. This is for muting Olga. Your wish is my command. And finally, JW, thank you for the $5. This is for you not being sexist. To be accused of that is just plain wrong. Well, of course, she was just like whipping out anything because, well, not great. All right, MK, elaborate further. Why'd you vote for Trump, man? You said you're with the other 74 million Americans. I get that, but why?
Yeah, because what he stands for, he's pro big oil. We're gonna scrap the Green New scam, and we're gonna focus more on fossil fuel. Bring that back. It's going to bring back. It's going to bring down gas prices. When that happens, then the inflation's going to go down, and prices are going to go down, and people are going to be happy. And that he's going to get a lot of the criminal illegals out of our country.
You know, we're drilling more oil than ever before in American history.
Yeah, but you know that's the narrative that you want to push. Tell
Not
me,
a narrative.
Harry. You're right. Now tell me about the deficiency.
Wait, can you just like respond to the point I'm making as opposed to like saying, hey, you're right, let me pivot. Your argument is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got rid of fossil fuels, or at least that Donald Trump is going to bring it back in a way that hasn't happened. So can you respond to the fact that we're drilling more oil than ever before in American history and producing more oil than ever before in American history?
Correct. Now, to talk about the oil deficiency.
But wait, that doesn't. Are you just so you're just acknowledging that the point you just made prior is wrong?
Dude, you could produce, you could drill all you want, but if we're consuming more in the world, 6 million barrels a day, that's called a deficiency, and you should know that if you're going to talk about oil.
Yeah. But you were just saying that, you know, we've gone off of fossil fuel, that we're going to focus on it more, and we're going to be drilling more oil and things like that. It's like, well, we're already drilling oil. Like, we haven't gone away from fossil fuels.
I agree with you, but we're not refining enough, and we're not making enough gasoline. So that's why we're losing $6 billion, 6 billion barrels a year. And you should know that.
Wait, so you're saying that we use 6 billion barrels a day?
6 million. We're consuming. The difference between what we're drilling and what we're consuming is we're losing 6 million barrels.
So how much are we consuming per day? Oh, he got kicked for hateful behaviors. The live is now flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviors. I don't know what he said. Honestly, I didn't even think he said anything that was that bad. Okay. No, you're up.
All right, I got a question for you.
Okay. Wait, did you vote for Trump?
I'm not going to answer that question, but I have a question for you.
Well, I'm not going to answer your question if you don't answer my question.
Well, I don't think that it's... well, yeah, I voted for Trump. There you go. I'll say that.
All right.
Okay. So, do you think that we should deport criminals from the United States?
I think we should, like... I think if you're an undocumented migrant and you committed like a violent crime or theft or robbery or something like that...
we should deport just a criminal, just in general. Do you think we should deport criminals?
Well, I think there's more nuance to the question than that. So, like, would you classify somebody who gets a speeding ticket as a criminal?
Well, I would classify somebody that comes into a country illegally a criminal because it's a crime to come into a country illegally.
Okay. It's also a crime to like litter and run a stop sign and speed. I'm sure you've probably sped before in your car.
Well, there's a difference between a criminal infraction and something that's
you acknowledge it's illegal. You can't speed. It's not permitted by law.
One's a fine or jail time, which you're saying it's illegal to speed. Then there's consequences to pay. You either have to pay a fine or go to jail. So why can you come into a country and expect to get rights in a country that you illegally came into?
Well, first of all, most coming into the country undocumented, at least your first time, is a misdemeanor, which is often not prosecuted by the United States or anybody because it's just like a waste of time. And I think
well, it'd be
that
so much
when
easier
you're coming in, when your people are coming in at least undocumented, I don't see why we would prosecute them for that. And I think that these people are really desperate. They just want a better life for themselves and their family. I don't think that they're automatically bad people. And I don't think that if
But
you're
that's not the law. That's
undocumented,
not
you
the
should
law.
be deported automatically.
But that's not the law. You can't come to a country illegally.
Yeah, so what Kamala Harris was proposing that we make it easier to come in legally, make it harder to come in illegally.
Yeah, why'd she propose it? Could have done that in the past. Couldn't they have done that in the past 4 years?
Yeah, they have done it the past 4 years. Republicans have blocked them in Congress because that we have our government that has checks and balances.
How could she have done it as the president?
What was that?
So how could she have done it as the president?
Yeah, so this is called like a campaign. So you kind of set out an agenda as to what you want to do, and then voters will decide whether they agree with you or not. And then obviously Kamala Harris campaigned with Democratic Senate candidates, Democratic House candidates, saying, "Hey, in order to get this stuff done, you have to elect these people too." So she's saying, "Hey, if you elect me and elect a Democratic Senate and a Democratic House, we can get this stuff done." It's called an agenda.
That's what she spent her $20 million on.
A what?
That's what she spent her $20 million on.
20 million? You think that the campaign only cost $20 million?
I mean, that's how much she has to owe. I mean, that's how much she owes in debt.
Well, Trump has debt as well, so.
No, he actually has leftover money. He even offered to pay her debt off.
Yeah, no, he has debt following him, around $750,000 that stretches back to 2016. But this is what we call a campaign. This is how you run a campaign. Campaigns also often have debt.
Often have 20 million?
Yeah, well, especially in like presidential campaigns, which are more expensive, they'll have more debt than like a Senate campaign or a House campaign. But yes, campaigns often have debt. This is very common.
And
so I don't even know. I don't know
how
how that's a talking point in relation to immigration. It just seems like you're trying to compensate for not knowing much about immigration.
Oh, no, I know a lot about immigration. I know it's illegal to come into a country and that we should prosecute for that. And Kamala Harris has.
I'm going to say the same to you, which I said to a previous guest.
Never visited the border.
She has been to the border, numbnuts. You don't know anything about the border. I'm going to say to you what I said to a previous guest. You cannot tell me that you care about the law. You cannot claim to care about the law if you voted for Donald Trump. I'm sorry.
No, because Donald Trump was prosecuted. You're big on calling him a felon. So he, admitted, was criminally charged, like you like to say, you like
convicted.
To call him a felon. So my question, so guess what? He's going to pay the consequences for that. So why do, people who come here illegally not have to pay the consequences for their crime? You're saying that we should not prosecute people who are breaking the law. So I actually do love people who uphold the law, and Donald Trump upheld his obligation.
He did. You do not love people that uphold the law, because if you did, you would have voted for Kamala Harris, who's actually upheld the law by being a prosecutor, and not Donald Trump, who is the antithesis of that and broke the law many times.
So you're telling me you personally never broke the law?
No. I've sped in my car before when I'm driving, but I think that you would agree that felonies are more significant than like a crime or an illegal infraction that has like a fine or is a misdemeanor, for example. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I think that it's a criminal. I mean, it's criminal and punishable. A felony to come into a country, illegally.
No, it's not. At least the first time, it's not a felony.
So repeat offenders, you're okay with repeat offenders, just not once. You're okay the first time.
No, I don't think that people should repeat coming to the border. But I mean, look, there needs to be a top-down reform of the immigration system, of which Kamala Harris proposed, but Donald Trump didn't, and he still has not told us how he's going to reform the immigration system that would prevent stuff like this. You're saying, oh, I don't want people coming across the border undocumented. Okay, let's make it easier for people to come in legally, harder for people to come in illegally. Because if you don't do that, if you just leave it the way that it is, people are still going to try to come in illegally. And if Donald Trump just says, oh, I'm going to build a big wall and I'm going to put turrets on top of it and metal spikes and I'm going to have alligators and a moat, that doesn't change the fact that people will still try to come to the United States, right? You have to address the root cause, not just build big shiny things that make nice people like yourself very amazed by it.
Oh yeah, I do. You're right. I do think a wall is an amazing thing. I mean, it works in a lot of other countries, so.
Yeah, it's like incredibly, this is like it's such a surface level take when it comes to immigration. This is like a surface level perspective that you think, oh, the wall is the solution to the immigration problem.
I actually never mentioned anything about the wall. You actually brought that and assumed that I thought that would be something that was, an adequate.
Was I right?
I actually think that if we just, punish criminals who come into the country illegally, that would be, the first course of action.
Why would we do that? And that makes no sense. Like if somebody comes across the border undocumented the first time, it would make no sense to dedicate resources to prosecuting that person when we already know that like public prosecutors are already paid too little and their resources are stretched too thin. So why would we do that? That makes no sense.
The first time you get a speeding ticket, you get prosecuted?
You don't get prosecuted. Like you don't go to like a criminal trial. You don't have like a trial or anything like that.
Most definitely. I don't know what state you live in, but you can go to you have a court trial. Yes, you do.
What are you talking about? When you get a speeding ticket, you think you go to in front of a jury?
You go in front of a judge.
Okay, so so when I'm talking about like why would we prosecute them, I'm saying why would we put them in front of a jury and have like again public prosecutors who are already paid too little and the funding doesn't get that much? Why would we
than having a judge?
Yeah. Wait, do you not recognize that there's a lead up to a trial? So all the prosecutors have to dedicate time to this trial. Then you have public defenders who would be defending somebody coming into the country undocumented. So we're taking public defenders away from people who actually need it. We're taking public prosecutors away from cases of which they actually need it. This is just like stretching resources way too thin, just so you can like satisfy this weird like goal of yours to like go after undocumented migrants. In reality, there's way better solutions to this problem than just being like, oh, we have to prosecute everybody. Again, you're voting for a felon, so please don't tell me that you care about people breaking the law.
Also, it's such a minute. You love just manipulating facts.
What fact have I manipulated?
You're saying that you don't love that. I can't love upholding the law because I'm voting for a felon. You're just manipulating facts.
Yeah, no, it's completely contradictory. It's also what fact is being manipulated with that? What?
The fact that you're saying that I can't love the laws because I voted for a felon, but somebody who was prosecuted, and because of the system that we have, he was trialed and it was convicted.
Yes.
And will pay the price for that. But you're saying I don't love the law, even though he followed orders that he was supposed to do. So how can I not like it?
Because the system that he went through is irrelevant to your principle, right? He is a convicted felon. He broke the law. He is a felon. He's a criminal. He broke the law. But then simultaneously, you voted for him. You don't care enough about the law, so much so that you sent this guy to the Oval Office, to the most powerful, important job in the world.
Well, I did.
But when it comes to
great honor to say that I sent him to the Oval Office.
It's a great honor.
Yes.
Yeah, again, so you're just further proving my point that you can't care about the law, or you can't proclaim to care about the law. You're saying it's a great honor that you sent a convicted felon to the Oval Office. You can't do that. Say it's a great honor to send a convicted felon to the Oval Office and then turn around and say, well, these immigrants who just want a better life for themselves and their family, we should be going after those people. They should be kicked out of the country. It's like this is so like it's so crazy.
Oh, it's crazy to want secure borders.
No, if that's the takeaway from what I just said, then this conversation was never going to go anywhere from the first place, because that's obviously not what I just said. I am in favor of secure borders. I'm in favor of that, as is Kamala Harris, as are the Democrats. But we have to do it in a meaningful way that actually addresses the problem, as opposed to just like throwing stuff out there and see what sticks. You, on the other hand, just want to throw stuff out there. Let's build a wall. Let's just prosecute all these people and deport them. And just hope that these people who were deported, many of them have families in the United States, don't try to come back to the United States to be with their families. That's a great idea, isn't it? What's the worst that can happen? So it's so like surface level.
It's surface level to say that we should not allow illegals to cross our border.
No, it's surface level to say I would also argue that that's kind of a surface level take. It's surface level to say that, yeah, anybody that crosses the border undocumented or anybody that's here undocumented should be prosecuted. It makes absolutely no sense. It also makes no sense to deport all the people who are here undocumented. Because, we have estimates out there that it would cost $88 billion with a B per year to deport 1 million undocumented migrants. $88 billion.
And where are you getting this information? Where are you getting this?
This was a study cited in his 60 Minutes episode.
And it was just cited, or there's evidence supporting this take?
It's a study that was cited by 60 Minutes when they were interviewing Donald Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan.
Well, I still find it mind-boggling that you want to deport. You think it's important to deport criminals, but yet you don't want to deport. You think it's wrong to deport criminals who are coming to the country because it's a crime to come into our country. illegally.
So I think it makes sense to deport violent criminals, people who steal, people who burglarize,
But at what
whatnot.
level?
But
At what amount do they have to steal in order for it to be bad?
like felonies. Felonies. I think like if you commit a felony, like
varies
whatever
per
felony
state.
it might
So-
be, you should be
so it's a
probably
state-
deported.
Then it becomes a state level issue.
It becomes a what? State level? I mean, I think that's both a state and a federal government issue.
So you think it should cost southern states more because if they're on a that seems kind of wrong as well.
Do you not think that immigrants exist in other places?
No, 1,000% they do, especially with the sanctuary city where they brought. Kamala, had illegal immigrants coming to cities, even northern cities.
How did
in the
Kamala
United
Harris
States.
do that? What?
Well, Joe Biden.
How did Joe Biden do that? That's like
By issuing, they were allowing.
This is what
sanctuary
happens,
cities to
like,
take in illegal
they're-
immigrants. You're saying that did not happen.
there are immigrants that go to every city and every state in the United States. So
And you're saying that that's not done at a federal level.
no, I mean you're saying like Joe Biden specifically did this, like Joe Biden had them go to northern cities. This is already established U.S. government policy that the immigrants are put in different cities and whatnot.
And it's a terrible policy to have.
Okay, so
illegal
Donald Trump did it, my man.
Do you think absolutely incorrect?
You think that Joe Biden just made up a policy? What policy was that? What executive order was that,
No, you
or
wanna tell me
bill
that
he got
Donald Trump
passed in
did it.
Congress?
What policy did Donald Trump? No, please.
No, please,
the
please, explain
policy.
to me. Explain to me. You said that Joe Biden, this is Donald Trump didn't have this policy, or the federal government, or I should say, the Department of Homeland Security didn't have this policy beforehand. So what did Joe Biden do to establish it?
What did Donald Trump do to establish it? Since you're saying he did.
I'm not
first,
saying that Donald Trump established it. I'm just saying it existed
words
under
came out of your
Donald
mouth.
Trump.
Your
Anyway, it
words
doesn't
are
matter.
true.
It's semantics. Can you tell me what policy that Joe Biden tried to pass that established that, or what?
Did he stop it? You're saying that's the problem.
Why would he stop it? It makes, oh my God, bro. These are asylum seekers. Where are they meant to go?
So I have a question. If these people are coming to seek better life in America, why are they unable to make their country a better place?
Oh my God. That's like the dumbest question I've ever heard in my entire life.
That's the dumbest question. That's the dumbest question ever.
No,
That's an amazing take on that, actually.
Because that is such a dumb question. Just think about this for a second. People who want to come to the United States and have a better life, why can't they make their own country better? I don't know. Let me think about it. Let's just take one example of a country. Take Afghanistan and the Taliban, right? If somebody's fleeing the Taliban and they want a better life for themselves because the Taliban sucks, you're asking, well, why can't they make their country better? I don't know. Maybe because they're being controlled by a T organization. I don't know if I can say that word on TikTok. A T organization which oppresses them and doesn't let them do what they want to do. And take Venezuela. You have like a dictator in power who, doesn't concede elections when they don't win. It almost sounds like somebody we know. Has oppressed dissenters and things like that, and jailed people who don't like them. It's like, well, why can't they just make their own country better? I don't know. Maybe because there are forces at play that are bigger than them.
So I do think there's a time where, we can't, it's kind of hard to say, we can let these people in where we can't let these other people in. And yes, I do think there's a time where, we as a, one of the strongest countries in the world can, allow for situations like this to take place where we allow immigrants to come into our country. But it's more of the, those would be documented because, they're coming in and you're saying, that is a very rare case that this is taking place, not just people. They're saying that there's a reason they can't make their country better. This is different than people who are just walking across our southern border from southern countries, not just one particular country, and living on the streets because they have nothing.
Honestly, I don't even know what argument you're trying to make with that. I'm not following, bro.
You're saying that these people are asylum cities, which they're being
Seekers.
documented coming over. You're saying that this is documentation that they're coming into our country, but then you're trying to compare that to undocumented. That your argument is making zero sense.
What argument are you citing that I just made that makes zero sense? You can't even just repeat my argument to me. I don't even know what you're saying right now.
You're comparing documented and undocumented people as the same.
When did I do that?
By using the example of countries that are currently in war wanting to come to the United States, documented, but maybe not to the same process that it takes to become a legal citizen. And comparing that,
hold on, you're going off like the rails right now. You were just asked me like a simple question, and I mean simple, of like, why can't people who are in their home nations, why can't they make their countries better? I never spoke about their status, like legal or illegal, or what method they're using to come to the United States. You just asked me like, well, why can't they make their home country better? I never made a comparison between two groups of people.
Okay, then why are you saying that we should allow everybody to come into our country?
I'm not saying we should allow. I've never said that.
So who are you allowing and who you're not allowing? How are you going to decipher who can come and who can't?
If you're seeking asylum, here I have a broad policy for this that Kamala Harris has talked about, right? We want a secure border. We want to make sure that people are coming in legally, not illegally. But we have to reform the current system. We can't do that within the laws we have right now. Right now, the asylum system is being abused because it's a legal system. If you come in via asylum, you're here legally. It's being abused, and people are claiming it who it doesn't apply to. So we have to reform the asylum laws, make sure that there's a higher standard of burden or proof. That's making sure that it only applies to people who actually need it. But simultaneously, we should be making it easier for people to become citizens, people to get green cards, people to get work permits. We should continue the humanitarian parole program, which is a program that has been in place for a long time, but furthered by President Biden, which allows people to come into the country for a couple of years, work legally, get vetted, and then go back to their home nation and things of that nature. And we should expand immigration courts, expand border patrol, and things like that. That gets to the root of the problem. But Donald Trump hasn't talked about any of that stuff. So maybe that answers your question.
No, it just reinstated a whole lot of nothing. But
really, I gave you an entire policy of what we should do to solve immigration, and you just think that means a whole lot of nothing. Maybe the Teletubbies are on and we got distracted. I'm not sure.
Yep, you really got me there. You always resort to insulting others, and I think it's quite hilarious that that's your best mode of winning an argument is insulting things that have
no, that's definitely not my best mode of winning an argument. I think like just letting you speak helps me win the argument, quite frankly.
So by saying we should not allow illegal immigrants into our country allows you to win. That makes a lot of sense.
Except that hasn't been your position. Your position is that we should prosecute every undocumented migrant in the country.
Yes,
and you also haven't provided any solution for our immigration system. I think we would both agree that the immigration system is broken and that it needs reform. However, I'm talking about in-depth reforms to asylum, to immigration courts, to border patrol, to green cards and citizenship. You're just saying, well, we got to prosecute them all and that'll solve it. It's like, come on, man.
Well, obviously this argument's getting nowhere because you're pro allowing illegals into our country, and
I've never once said that, but that's okay. That's fine.
But you definitely you're arguing for that fact. That's what you did to me. If I said something, you would completely escalate it to something far beyond what I said, and then turn it against me. That's what your best mode of argument is.
Can you name one time I've done that during this conversation?
Well, first of all, I started talking about, not allowing illegals in our country. You went straight to, well, you don't want to have borders. You're basically saying that nobody's welcome here.
I never said any of this. What are you talking about, bro? I take problem. If you're just like, yeah, I don't want, people coming into the country undocumented, like, okay. But I don't think that means that you don't want anybody coming into the country. I never said anything like that. Like, what are you talking about?
Harry, you definitely escalate things beyond belief and try to manipulate other people's words. I watch it almost every single time you talk to somebody.
I think your words speak for yourself here, my man. Your words speak for themselves tonight. This is I don't have to misinterpret or do anything like that to your own words. I think they speak for themselves.
And that would be probably because you're a manipulator.
Okay, I'm asking you to give me an example of me manipulating your words tonight.
Anytime like the person who was on here before me who was speaking about how she was an immigrant to the country, and anytime that she speaks of anything, you escalate the words that she say and turn them against her every time.
Can you give me an example of this? Because you just keep saying, "Oh, you did this," but like, can you give an example of me being a manipulator?
And you continue to mute her every single time. Okay, here's an example. Anytime that she tried to, she allowed you to speak, then you'd mute her. Then she say a couple words before you left.
Now you're just lying, man. Like that's obvious.
A
bunch of people are here with eyes and ears. They heard her constantly interrupting me.
So you're saying you did not mute her?
Oh, no, I muted her when she was continually interrupting me.
and then you never allowed her to speak without interrupting her.
I allowed her to speak. The first 5 minutes of the conversation was just her.
Interesting.
Okay, bro. You have a good rest of your night, all right? Have a good one, man. What in the interesting. Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool, man. Yo, Zariah. Thank you for $1. Here's $1 for a bigger water cup when Trump's insanely low prices kick in. You seem like you're always drinking ice, and I just want you to stay hydrated. I got to get more water. I go through the water so quickly. I drink like so much water in a day. It's not good. Brian, thank you for the. Well, no, it is good. What am I talking? It is good. Brian, thank you for the $1. As long as we have an unemployment rate, we need immigrants. That's a great point, Brian. Sienna, I won't read this aloud. $5. Thank you. I can't do that. I can't do that. Yo, Nicolette, thank you for the 12 cents saying, take a water break. Maybe I'll go grab water now. I don't know. James, thanks for the $1. Harry, please let me up. Don't forget, I want to talk to you. We can make that happen for sure. Shalonda, thank you for the $10. With all that's going on, I'm so afraid for my son. I'm afraid FAFSA will be taken away and he won't be able to go to college next year. I have such an appreciation for the work that you do. I'm looking forward to seeing you run for president one day. I'm so sorry. Well, look, make sure to stay strong and keep fighting. Yeah, it's a crazy world right now. It's just like there's so much unknown. There's so much unknown that it's really hard to be like comfortable and be like, oh, we'll be all right. So I understand the feeling. Trust me. But I'm thinking about you. I'm rooting for you. All right. Remember that. Lily, thank you for the 10 cents. Hey, I'd love to talk. 10 cents is all I got. Lily, I'm happy to talk to you for sure. Ami, thank you for the $2. Harry, the master manipulator. According to that guy, yes. And Riley, thank you for the $1. Everyone is crazy tonight. They're really coming out of the woods. Tony, thank you for the $4. What do you think about Elon meeting with Iranian AMB, the Iranian ambassador? I didn't actually know about that, but that sounds kind of scary. That just sounds not good. Austin, I think, was trying to come up a minute ago, so we'll give him a chance. Courtney, thank you for the $3. Here's $3 for dealing with idiots. It's never a fun time. Nay, thank you for the $10. You're the best, Harry. Nay, you're the best. I appreciate you. And Catherine, thank you for the $100. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry. I'm just seeing your message now because you asked, can you ask Noah where he's from? He sounds like EU. Catherine, I appreciate the $100. Fill the chat with W's for Catherine. That means so much, so very much to me. I appreciate you. W's for Catherine in the chat. Let her know we appreciate her. W Catherine. She's also always here supporting Alive, even before the election, well before the election. So shout out Catherine. Thank you for always supporting. Thank you for being here. You're the best. Jesus, thank you for the $1 from a child of undocumented migrants. Thank you, man. Absolutely, man. A lot of folks on the right, Trump supporters, a lot of them say, I think that all undocumented migrants are just bad people automatically. It's just crazy. Andrew, thank you for the $4.86. Holidays are hard with kids. Not much. Sorry. Andrew, come on, man. You save your money, brother. I'm going to send that back to you. Brother. I appreciate you just being here and supporting. I'll send you $5. I appreciate you being here, man. And have a good holidays with the kids, man. Seriously. And enjoy yourself if you can. 1 sec, Austin. I'll get to you in just a minute. 1 second.
Hey, no worries, dude.
Sierra, thank you for the $2. Is there a future Mrs. Sisson in the pick yet? If not, how can I sign? God, you guys are smooth with it, man. I appreciate you, Sierra. Thank you for being here. That's smooth with it. You guys are getting creative as well. Lex, thank you for the $20 as well. I appreciate you on Cash App. Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support the live. Also drop a follow if you haven't already. Double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 1.5 million likes and all that good stuff. All right, Austin. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, I voted for Trump. And the big reason why, and what's crazy is not a lot of people, especially on your live, and a lot of the other people's lives that are talking about this is, the big reason why I went towards Trump this time around had a lot to do with, when it came to, just children's health, and sort of that side. And so, obviously I'm kind of a supporter of like RFK Jr.'s agenda. And I get that some people think he's a little radical. But one thing when it was on the docket to vote, being a father of 3 kids, younger kids, I just felt that, when we grew up in the 90s, even in the 80s, you go back and you look at the foods and just the ingredients in the foods, and we could probably all say that it was healthier back then. I mean, it's been proven. There's tons of studies out there that show that the food in the 80s and 90s were healthier than they are today, especially with the dyes and everything like that. And so when I really, when it really came down to for me was just, wanting our kids to actually have, a better life in terms of just health. Just even like school foods. Like, obviously we pack our kids we pack our kids foods for school, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of kids out there that do not have the access to be able to, pack their own lunches for school. And so a lot of those school foods they're just horrible. And so when I really thought about it, like, this is just an opportunity. And even Kamala Harris didn't really touch on this a whole lot, unfortunately. And even Biden, the administration wasn't too strong on trying to, attack I guess you could say the ag side of things and attack the food industry to make sure that we actually have better ingredients in our foods for kids. And so like that, that's just something that was super important to me going into this election. And like I said, no one really talks about it that much. I mean, they do, obviously, now that he got announced to be the head of the health department today. But like, I just want to hear your thoughts sort of on that and maybe how important that could be for you and maybe even like your, the future kids and things like that.
Yeah, I don't have like a problem with people being like, oh, we should have, better ingredients in our food, or, people should be consuming more healthy food and things like that. I have no problem with that. But that's a deeper rooted issue when it comes to things like food deserts and the fact that a lot of fast food is less expensive than that of, like your typical grocery store products. So there's a lot of reasons as to why people can often turn to unhealthy food. I think those problems are better addressed by looking at the root causes and like, why are there food deserts? How can we address food deserts, as opposed to like putting a conspiracy theorist in control of our health agencies? But I digress. Now to the topic of RFK Jr. I don't know why on earth you'd you'd be like, yeah, RFK Jr. is the guy to solve it, right? He's not a doctor, has never practiced medicine, never worked in medicine, never studied medicine, never worked in any health agencies or anything like that. And even if you're like, okay, well, that doesn't require you to run the HHS. Okay, sure. The current HHS secretary didn't work in medicine either. He's a lawyer, served in the House and whatnot. Was actually elected representative though. But then why RFK Jr., the guy who has pushed conspiracy theories about vaccines and childhood vaccinations and possibly causing autism, which is obviously not true. He's saying that COVID was manufactured to target certain groups of people. The guy who literally had a worm eat part of his brain. Like, why would we put that guy in charge of it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, obviously, you just said it, the person who's currently ahead of the health side is not necessarily a doctor to be running this. And I think really what it is for me is it would be a shake to the system here. And it mostly has to do, I would agree with the vaccines, Harry. You know what I mean? So when you go down to, you look at the cycle of.
Wait, you agree with him or me?
I don't know if I said I agree. I don't know if I said I agreed with you or him on that.
When you say you agree with the vaccines, are you saying that they are effective, or you agree with RFK's position that they're like causing bad things for kids?
I think that there is enough evidence to show that vaccines, definitely are not needed to some extent.
Oh my God. What the fuck? See, this is a shit that gets me, man. This is shit that gets me.
So listen to me, Harry. So we can go back and you can look at the history of vaccines, right? I'm not saying that all vaccines are bad. That's definitely not the case at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means. We do know that obviously the COVID vaccine definitely had its issues. Like I wasn't a big fan of the COVID vaccine. Well, we already know that obviously it causes health issues. I mean, people had reactions to it. I mean, you had Guillain-Barré is a huge thing that came from it. That's proven. I mean, that's across the board now.
It's not across the board. When you say it causes this, it's not true. There are like very rare anomalies that some people have a negative reaction to it. But for the overwhelming majority of people, that is 99% plus, there was no health consequence as a result.
So we can agree to disagree with that, because there is some studies out there. There's actually a lot of studies out there that show that vaccines are extreme. We're taking 77 more vaccines than we were in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah, because there's been more developments in medicine.
Yeah, but again, you shouldn't have to. When the vaccine mandate came out, right? When the Biden administration put the vaccine mandate out, like I didn't agree with a mandate for the vaccine.
There is no mandate.
No, there was.
There was not.
There was a mandate for the military to take the vaccine.
As there has been for its entire existence, even going back to George Washington.
But even the federal government, even people here, because again, even here at like I live in Washington State, I work for the government, and it was required to keep your job. You had to take the vaccine.
Yeah, that's a mandate. But that's when you say mandate. My interpretation was that you meant for everybody in the United States. The federal government's allowed to require vaccines for its workers, as it does already.
That. But if you choose not to take the vaccine, then you should have a right to choose to not take the vaccine. If you choose, you would lose your job.
Correct. That's capitalism, baby.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but I mean, but we sit up here and we talk about, the right to choose for yourself, right? The whole, your body, your choice, which I'm totally for and support. But when it comes to these things, you don't have control over that.
Yes, you
and
do.
Even no, you don't, man. You
quite literally have a choice.
You lose your job. You lose your livelihood.
Yes, you choose to either go find somewhere else to work, or you can take a vaccine. That's what we call a choice.
That's not a good choice, dude. Some people they need a paycheck to survive.
Well, I'm so sorry. If you don't wear a uniform to work, you don't get to go to work. If you don't get your polio vaccine, you don't go to work.
That's a pretty poor thing. I mean, especially from you. I mean, I know you're a pretty compassionate individual when it comes to people deciding what's best for them. I mean, that a lot of what you talk about here is for supporting people for their rights to choose, right? You do. Okay. But
Yes.
Now we're going to say that this right here, that you're going to, people in a pandemic where there's not a lot of jobs. So obviously there was more unemployment during that time. So people that choose not to do it will lose their job and go on unemployment.
Yep.
Lose their livelihood. Like, you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's choice.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah, if you are putting other people
that's a
in
crazy
danger,
statement, dude. I didn't expect to hear that from you. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
man.
I'm perfectly happy. This is how capitalism works. If you're insinuating that you want something other than that, you're infringing on a capitalist economic system. This is how capitalism works. If a business is legally allowed to require you, or the federal government is legally allowed to require you to get a vaccine, if you say no, no problem. You just have to go find somewhere else to work. There is no right to a job. You don't get to just say, oh, well, I actually don't want it, but I want to still work. You're given options. Just like, if you enter a company and they're like, I want to be a manager. It's like, no, you actually have to start at a lower position. You don't get to just say, well, I want to be a manager, so I'm going to go do that, and you paying me less because me working is unfair. There are plenty of examples of this. Like, companies are allowed to require you to do that. If you don't want to do it, then don't work there.
I have a hard time with it. Then again, I mean, we have our differences on how we view these things. And, I guess really what it comes to me is that when it comes to the pharmaceutical side of this, right? And really what I came up here to talk about was mostly when it came to the food, when we talked about foods, right? And how it is a vicious cycle between, and obviously there's there's some studies out there. And again, you could say they're conspiracy theories, whatever you want, to where it shows that the pharmaceutical companies out here, do make a ton of money from keeping our youth unhealthy through the foods.
Nope.
I mean, that is a proven scenario that we're going through.
Nope. I don't know what study you're citing that this to be the case, but that does not exist. That does not exist.
It does exist.
No, it doesn't. You're just believing. This is what's such a terrible problem with America right now. What you're citing to me right now is just straight conspiracy. Right? There is no evidence backing up that any company or agency is intentionally keeping people sick so they can make money. There's no evidence of that. But you want to believe a conspiracy theory that backs up your view. You can want cleaner food and not put lunatics like RFK Jr. at the helm of that effort. And also not push conspiracies.
So when RFK Jr. was running as a Democrat, you didn't support him?
No. Because you're anti-science and anti-vaccine.
Did you support Tulsi Gabbard?
Nope.
You didn't support Tulsi at all?
No.
But you support Liz Cheney?
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with Liz Cheney on policy, but I admire her standing up to Donald Trump and the Republican Party and standing up for democracy.
Yeah, I mean, and what's crazy about that is the complete shift of just how the politics have shifted over the last 20 years. It honestly blows my mind. Like, I never thought that Liz Cheney would endorse a Democratic nominee, and a Democratic nominee would actually accept her, and it kind of blows my mind, to be honest with you.
Because Trump is that crazy. Trump is that crazy that Republicans, many of them very conservative, were pushed towards supporting Kamala Harris.
And I think you could say the same. I mean, people say the same thing about, you have a lot of Democratic leaders that left the party to go to his side. I mean, I think that there's a fair shakeout with that.
No, there's not. There's not even close to a fair comparison. You have Tulsi Gabbard, who was kind of conservative in her voting history anyway, who is now a big Trump supporter. You have RFK Jr., who has never held elected office again and just chose the Democratic Party to run in. Like, he just chose a party to be in because he thought it was going to give him a better chance of winning a nomination. So you have that. And then on the Republican side, going to the left, you have Liz Cheney, you have Dick Cheney, you have Mark Esper, John Bolton, or in terms of people who have spoken poorly about Donald Trump,
Mark
to hear
Esper, that,
John Kelly.
That support is crazy.
What was that?
I just like to hear you saying that the Democrats have those people supporting them. That's
they're
a wild,
lifelong conservatives, and they are people who worked with Donald Trump and have seen him behind the scenes, and they're saying he's incompetent. The people that know Donald Trump best, even his own former vice president, didn't endorse him. The people that know Donald Trump best all said that, yeah, this guy's incompetent. I'm either not supporting him or I'm supporting the candidate on the other side of the aisle. Now, that's telling. That's really telling. But you didn't listen to that.
Yeah, I mean, we have our reasons, and so we can move on, because I think I want to get to another topic before you bring someone else up here, just because it's easy we can get stuck on one thing. The other thing too is, obviously with the amount of spending that the government does, and again, Trump had a shit ton of spending. Biden spent. Every president has spent a ton of money, right? I mean, that's nuts. Everyone can see our national debt is outrageous. And it seems like every year we seem to just keep spending a ton of money. And I think you and I can both agree to that, right?
Yeah, we spend money, yes.
Okay. And we could say that the spending's out of control to some degree.
I don't know if I'd say it's out of control.
I guess for me, when you look at the average amount that they spend, right? So, and Trump did spend a lot more because of the CARES Act and the COVID relief. And I think he's roughly around 8 trillion. And I think Biden was roughly around 4 trillion.
Correct.
So Trump, I think Trump actually doubled him up because of, obviously with the pandemic and stuff too. Doesn't matter. I guess what I'm trying to get to here is that one thing I do like, regardless of how you feel about Elon stepping in, is that there is an opportunity, whether you like him or not, there is an opportunity to where we could reduce significant amount of government spending, whatever that might be, right? And I guess for the future of our kids and the amount of interest that we pay off the debt that we have, I do think that America has an opportunity of going bankrupt off this. I mean, I think that that's been proven. And it's not just the Republican Party saying that. Obama has said it before. Biden said it before. Everyone seems to say it every time they get into the office that our spending's crazy. And so there's just an opportunity, I think, to actually maybe have a chance of reducing the national debt. And the last person to actually do that, obviously we all know, it was Clinton. And it's just an opportunity that I think is a good one.
When I hear people say stuff like this, I almost feel bad, because you're going to be in for a very rude awakening. You know what I mean? It's just there's going to be a very rude awakening for you, because when you look at Trump's policies, it equals more spending. So there was an analysis done by, I think it was Goldman Sachs, but it was some economic institution, so don't take my word that it was Goldman Sachs, that found that Trump's policies are going to add trillions more to the debt, or would add trillions more to the debt than Kamala Harris's would. His upper range, in terms of how much it would add to the debt, 15 trillion. The mid-range, another 8 trillion. And when you look at Trump's policies, it makes sense. He wants to cut overtime tax, cut Social Security tax, cut income tax altogether, and then try to replace it with tariffs, which would never make it up. And then you have another deficit of billions, possibly trillions of dollars. And he wants to give another tax cut to the wealthy, make their tax rate even lower than it is what it is now, and then lower the corporate tax rate, so the government is taking in even less money. And for some reason, you think that all of that is going to equal less debt. I cannot fathom how you would think that. I cannot fathom how you would think that.
You could go off. I mean, I don't know if you're a numbers guy or anything like that, but I mean, you could go off the average number of spending that took place across all presidents, even over the last 20 years. And we could say that roughly they spent about anywhere from 3.5 to 4 trillion in their presidency, right? Trump was an anomaly with the pandemic. And you have Elon coming out here, and whether he can do it or not, I mean, it's going to be super interesting. But I mean, if he says he'll be able to cut by 2 trillion, what do you think he'll actually be able to cut by 2 trillion?
No, because I think our discretionary spending every single year is around 2 trillion. So he's going to cut all of the money from discretionary spending. God love you. God, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are in for a very rude awakening. You think that somehow RFK Jr., who has no idea what he's talking about, he's a conspiracy theorist, is going to be able to clean up the food. That Elon Musk is going to be able to like reduce the deficit and cut all of this spending, and he's going to be able to cut 2 trillion when our discretionary spending is 2 trillion. It's like, this is not going to happen. And you bought into these lies that Donald Trump told you anyway. He spoon fed them to you, and you believe them, and you voted for him. So I genuinely feel bad. I'm not saying this like rub it in your face and be like, ha ha, I'm going to be right. I don't mean that at all. But there's going to be a moment of like an epiphany you have one day, I hope at least, where you're like, oh shit, like they just lied to me. And then maybe you'll vote for the next Democrat. I don't know.
You know where my epiphany actually took place. It was in 2016. Obviously I was a Bernie Sanders guy going into 2016. And still to this day, and he was just on a podcast. I don't know, was it a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago, talking about how the Hillary got the nomination, right? And we can go back, and he even admits that it was stolen to some degree, and that the nomination should have went to Bernie, right? And again, that's a debate to be had, whether it's true or not. And so, I kind of was like, I'm in the Bernie camp and excited, and then it goes to Hillary, and I wasn't a huge fan of Hillary. Actually, I'm not a fan of Hillary at all. And then it kind of sank in again here in 2024. And you have Pelosi coming out and saying that they were looking to do an open primary, and that Biden basically dumped it all in the trash by putting Kamala in. I mean, that's came out already now. And so do you think by having an open primary to where they would have had maybe a fair shake on candidates would have helped maybe save this for the Democrats this go around, you think?
No, I think that Donald Trump, I think that a lot of people's opinions were baked in already. And there could have been an open primary, but the delegates surrounded around Kamala Harris because President Biden endorsed her. And he is within his right to do that. And I don't think that him staying out of it and allowing an open primary would have changed anything. I think Kamala Harris still would have been the nominee.
Just because she was the vice president?
Yes.
So going into, obviously now with Tim Walz being elected, I think her big mistake too was not picking Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's on my mind. Josh Shapiro. Do you think that was a mistake for her? No. Honestly, I think that both of them would have been great picks. I don't think that Tim Walz being her VP nominee sunk anything. He's a great guy, a good person, a person who actually cares. He's a former football coach, former teacher, served in our military for over 20 years. This is as good as it gets. I guess I'm talking strategy. I mean, the election's about strategy. Do you think that was a missed opportunity because of the strategy involved with Pennsylvania?
I don't think Shapiro would have, being the VP nominee, would have changed anything. Because even if you would have just won Pennsylvania, you have to win the other states. And Tim Walz, both Shapiro and Walz would be great. I hope to see both of them involved in national politics still, especially like Shapiro running for president. But I don't think that's changed anything.
And so I guess I go, obviously I know you're entrenched in kind of what the next steps would be. And someone asked where Nancy Pelosi said that. She actually said it on CNN. She had a live on CNN talking about that. But I guess my thing is, knowing what Charlie Kirk did and what Pressler did up there in Pennsylvania, completely shifting the playbook and using the Democratic playbook and completely annihilating the Democratic vote out of Pennsylvania and Arizona. Do you think the Democratic Party is going to learn from that, or do you think that they're still wrapped up in You think they're going to
what?
Wrapped up in the fact that, I mean, I guess I feel like they missed a major opportunity to go, because again, the whole goal, they missed out on the low propensity voters. They were for the working people, and that's who the Republicans won in those swing states. Exactly the same people that the Republican or that the Democrats, the people would usually vote for when they vote Democrat. It's like they completely missed that.
Yeah, I think we're going to rework the strategy and come back better. That's what you're asking me.
And I guess how are you guys? How would you do it?
I don't know. I'm not the party. I have my own views on that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess that's where I just wanted to open up the conversation to see what would your views be for the party. I mean, and how would you gain those people back?
I don't think they're like lost. I think a lot of them are swing voters. And I think that the way we win them back is through media. I think we're getting dominated on social media right now. A lot of Republicans have a lot of funding. Contrary to popular belief, the Democrats don't have the DNC paying us. We don't have big DNC super PACs funding us, but the Republicans literally do. They are quite literally paid by these big Republican PACs to produce content. They get to make their fancy studios, have a very professional look, have all the lighting, have all the microphones, have everything they need to produce really good content and at a rapid rate. Just shoot it out, just shoot it out, just shoot it out. And the party is very connected to the point where they can bring big figures on their platforms and get clips and interviews out just like that all the time. So we, the Democratic Party, need to have an apparatus of our own and actually fund creators and fund new media. And I think that's the way we get people back paying attention. And I think that a lot of people are going to start doing that. But aside from
why I brought up the Josh Shapiro thing is because they took Josh Shapiro's motor voter plan and completely flipped it up on its head. And that's where I feel that the Kamala or the Harris campaign like completely missed the boat. Like I feel like the Democratic, I mean, we could see that with the votes, but I feel like they completely missed the vote this time. Like they did not understand the voters that were out there. Well,
we'll try to rework good for next election and come back better. So anyway, man, we'll leave it there just because I want to give other people an opportunity to come up. And yeah, thanks for having the conversation. All right.
All right, buddy. Have a good day, man.
Thanks, Austin. Appreciate it. You too.
Yeah, peace.
All right. If you're our MAGA, let me know. I'll bring you up and we can talk. You can tell me why on earth you're MAGA. It makes no sense. Priscilla, thank you for the $10 saying just being you. I appreciate you, Priscilla. Thank you so much. Allison, and thank you for that's very kind, Priscilla, for the $10. I appreciate you. Allison, thank you for the $1. Hello, DNC here. I am the DNC is giving Harry his payment of $1 because I'm a 100% real affiliate of the DNC. Hope this makes the Republican Party happy. Yeah, there you go, everybody. That's how we do it. It goes through Venmo. We do it it's very sophisticated. Nicolette, thank you for the $1. I love how anti-vaxxers are so worried about vaccine mandates making them lose their jobs when they're literally the same people telling women to just go to another state to get an abortion. Like, okay, get a different job. Good point. Good point. Yo, Jordan, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. Please show some love to Jordan in the chat with the $50 saying your patience is outstanding. You should donate to the Children's Law Center. I'm an attorney that represents kids in child abuse cases. www.clccal.org, Children's Law Center. Sorry for the shameless plug. We need Christmas gifts. Are you kidding me? I am always a fan of plugging charity. So you heard that. That's www.clccal.org. It's the Children's Law Center. They represent children. Jordan, thank you for that amazing work. I think we should rush some donations there. Please, you never have to apologize for plugging a charity. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can always plug a charity on this live. Yo, Trista, thank you for the $10. I think there's something wrong with my phone. Your number isn't in it. That's pretty nice. Trista, that's a good one. I like that one. I like that. That's funny. Eli, thank you for the $5. Hey, Harry, you, Dean, Parker, and Kamala's loss inspired me to get into school for politics and voice them more. Love you all. That's awesome, man. Make sure to stay involved and get involved. That's awesome. Truly. Sydney, thank you for the $5. So excited to be able to go to NYC, hopefully in March, to visit my dream college after doing a year and then taking a year off. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm fingers crossed for you on your dream college. ETN, thank you for the $3. Thoughts on MJT for assistant VP? Oh, are you meant to say Marjorie Taylor Greene? MJT? I don't know. I don't know who MJT is, to be honest. Catherine, thank you for the $1. I send you one every time I join your live. I may go broke. I'm a first-gen American and live in a community of immigrants. It'd be horrific if they got deported. Yeah, I just hate that aspect of Trump's policies. It's so crazy. Leah, thank you for the $5. Thank you for making the world a better place. Leah, you make the world a better place. I hope you know that. Kalia, thank you for the $5. You fought the good fight. I appreciate you. Kalia, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Emily, I love you. Super cool, nice girl. Oh, what a blast from the past. What a blast from the past. Cecilia, thank you for the $1. The search for change votes went up because of y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Brooke, thank you for the $1.50. You, Dean, and Parker to split from the DNC. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Tony, thank you for the $4. What do you think? Oh, sorry, I already read that. My apologies. All right, everybody. If you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. This guy says he's MAGA. Let's give him an invite. Zane says he's MAGA. Let's give him an invite. Oh, here comes somebody. Hello?
What's up?
You vote for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why on earth?
Why are you voting for Kamala? Why are you getting here? Why are you sitting here getting paid for all this scam bullshit, bro?
Wow, you went straight into conspiracy. I thought we'd at least maybe get like through a minute in the conversation. All right, before you start screaming, just 1 second. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time.
No, I'm good on that.
Also, let's try to get to 1.5 million likes. Also, Venmo, Cash App, link in bio, but also all the different social media platforms: Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. All those are in my bio if you want. All right. So what do you want to talk about here? You want me to talk about Trump, Kamala Harris, or you think I'm getting paid? I'll let you pick.
Well, it's always the same 3 topics with you. So how about you pick something different?
Well, this is a Trump and politics related live. So you're asking like, why is the topic that? Why the topic politics?
You're always saying politics. No, it's always the same 3 topics with you, dude.
These are topics you just brought up. I just asked why are you voting for Trump, and then you said, well, why are you voting for Kamala, and you also said I'm paid.
So this is what you guys do.
What do you want to talk about here? What do you want to? Hey, buddy, what do you want to talk about?
Always try to flip it.
Okay, so the prompt is Trump is terrible. I think Trump is terrible. You think it's good. So you want to talk about that?
100%. You go first.
Okay, good. Why do I think he's terrible? Convicted felon, proven sexual abuser, proven fraudster, didn't get anything done as president. That's why I think he's terrible.
Wrong foot, buddy. Wrong foot. You got to explain to me what Kamala Harris did.
You just asked why I think Trump is terrible. Holy shit.
What was her positive?
On what? On what specific issue or just issues generally?
Oh, dude, tell me. What
Okay, great. Okay, great. Yeah, so she was a district attorney in San Francisco, then attorney general in California, then senator from California, and all of these different roles.
How'd that turn out?
Hey, be quiet.
You say the same facts every single time.
Yep, no problem. So she did all of that. Then she became vice president, and she's done a lot as vice president as well. And then as running for president, she had amazing policies, such as wanting to build 3 million houses in her first 4 years of office by working with developers and giving them a tax incentive, also giving first-time home buyers a $25,000 credit to down payments, and first generation home buyers get a even more significant package when it comes to something like that. She also wanted to give 100 million Americans a tax cut. 100 million Americans a tax cut. Hardworking Americans out there who just want some more breathing room. She also wanted to continue investing in American manufacturing, specifically chips that we have in our phone. You know, that's the future of manufacturing here in the United States. There's already a manufacturing boom because of the Biden-Harris administration. She wanted to continue doing that. She also wanted to cap insulin at $35 a month, not only for seniors on Medicare, which is currently the law because of the Biden-Harris administration, but for every single American out there. She also wanted to continue to invest in expanding the Affordable Care Act so more people have access to health care. We have more Americans insured with health care than ever before in American history. Kamala Harris wanted to expand that health care. Donald Trump wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He tried the first time in his presidency. She also wanted to restore reproductive rights for women on a federal level, either by 1, going through Congress and restoring the protections of Roe v. Wade, or 2, appointing liberal judges to courts all the way up and down the judiciary, going all the way up to the Supreme Court, so that Roe v. Wade could be reinstored through that means. And then as I can talk about accomplishments she had in her previous roles if you'd like, but those are just some of the policies that I admired of Kamala Harris's run for president.
That's what you're saying. You keep saying wanted to. You keep saying Donald Trump has no plan, but everything you're saying right now, she wanted to. That's
it's
all
called
I'm
an
hearing
agenda.
right now. Yeah, it's called not having an actual fucking plan is what it's called.
So she has plans. I just laid out a bunch of her plans, and you just say that they're not plans.
Bro,
remember, Donald Trump, when he was asked what his healthcare policy is, he said, I have concepts of a plan. So please spare me the she doesn't have plans. You also just don't read.
You're sitting dead center right here. You're sitting dead center. You're saying that Donald Trump's sitting here saying he had a plan. Kamala Harris is saying she had a plan.
It's Kamala.
It's the government, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you a he, him, too? You want to throw that out there, too?
What are your pronouns? What are your pronouns?
That's the whole thing here.
What are your pronouns? What are your pronouns, buddy? What are your do you know what a pronoun is?
Here, it looks like you're. What are you, a they?
Do you know what a
Them?
pronoun is? Do you know what a pronoun is?
Oh, how old are you, dude?
Yeah, I'm 22. Do you know what a pronoun is?
A person, place, or thing?
Oh yeah. So what's your pronouns?
What's your pronoun? You're a them or they?
Okay, so you just don't know what pronouns are. Okay, that answers a lot of the question. You just don't know what pronouns are. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense as to why you're going on this like very angry man rant you're going on
Throw
right
it
now.
out
It's very
there.
strange.
What's the definition of a pronoun?
No, you just don't know what they are. I asked you what your pronouns are.
What is the definition of a pronoun?
You
What is the definition
you don't know
of
what
a
pronouns
pronoun?
are. I asked you what your pronouns are. You were like, what are
is the
yours? You obviously
definition
don't
of
know
a
what
pronoun?
pronouns are. You obviously don't know what
Definition.
pronouns are.
Dude, you're a fucking loser. What's the
See,
definition
you're
of a
getting mad
pronoun?
because you don't know what pronouns
Because
are.
you know that I'm 100% correct, dude.
Yeah.
A pronoun.
Wait, you
A
just use them.
pronoun.
You just use one. You just use one.
Yeah, a dumb fuck. You.
That is not a pronoun. I'm sorry. You
Oh,
failed
dude,
English
that's
101.
a thing.
You failed.
That's a
You
thing.
failed second grade English. That's not a pronoun,
That is
my
a
friend.
thing. Right
Anyway,
there.
can we get back to the topic of conversation because we already know you don't know what pronouns are. Let's get back to the thick of things. So, Trump saying I have concepts of a plan does not mean he has a plan. Kamala Harris laid out policies on her website and in speeches and in the presidential debate, and you just didn't listen. You just chose not to listen.
You got the background screen. Throw up dictionary definition. Pronoun.
Can you you're still focused on the pronoun thing?
Throw it up, dude.
You really want me to look up the definition of a pronoun for you?
Throw it up.
Why is this such a thing for you?
Dictionary definition.
Of a pronoun.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pronoun is a word or group of words used to replace a noun or noun phrases. It's not a person, place, or thing. That's a noun, numbnuts.
Get into it.
Yeah, that's the dictionary definition. I'm reading it right here from Merriam-Webster. You goddamn idiots.
Throw it up.
I have it right here on my phone.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna get into this then.
Go ahead. You just asked me to read the dictionary definition of a pronoun to you, and you thought that pronouns were nouns.
Then throw it up. What are you?
I'm sorry. I'm not going to go on Google and on this phone and then throw it up behind me. The thing is going to stay the same. You now know what a pronoun is. I can read it to you again if you want. A pronoun is a word or group of words used to replace a noun or noun phrase. You tried to say that pronouns were nouns. Those are not nouns. There's two different things. And then you thought, I don't even know what you said a pronoun was, like dumbass or something like that. You said that was a pronoun, which further exposed the fact that you don't know what pronouns are. It doesn't. It doesn't say place. It says phrase. Replace. It says phrase or noun phrase. Oh my God! You should stop arguing this point. This is just getting worse for you. Just like I'm getting like secondhand embarrassment listening to you try to like pretend you know what pronouns are. So just move on. Move on for your sake.
All right, let's keep moving on then.
Good for your sake.
You're on the topic of she wanted to.
Yes.
Go ahead and make that explanation real quick.
So these are plans that she wanted to put in place if she were elected president.
And did she ever accomplish any of the things that she wanted to do?
So when the Biden-Harris administration got into office, they accomplished many of the things that they wanted to do. But I hope you would be able to recognize. I hope you'd be able to recognize that you're not going to get everything you want done in 4 years. Oh, look at this! Now I have to remove you from the live.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because you got flagged for harassment and bullying because you kept just being a very nice individual. Get the hell out of here. Guy didn't know what goddamn pronouns were. It's embarrassing. Drop a follow. As you know, we do these lives all the time. Venmo, Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live. Zane, my man, please be better than him.
I hope to be. Anyways,
Trump?
I did. My biggest thing for a question for you is, I listened a good bit, but I just heard you with the guy before him. You were talking, and you mentioned it's capitalism to fire someone because they didn't take a vaccine.
Yeah.
When his point was, my body, my choice. Do you think it would be capitalism if a woman got an abortion and somebody let go of her?
Yeah, no, that's obviously not capitalism. I mean, I think that there are some regulations to this, obviously. Like capitalism isn't that, if somebody has a different, if somebody's skin is different than yours, you can fire them. That's just like racism. That's just straight up racism. And we don't have like a free market capitalism system where you can like deny someone service no matter what. So we have limitations on this where, a business can't require somebody to be white, right?
100%. I agree with you
and
on
things
that.
of that nature. But so, yeah, that's the point. The point
I
is that
don't
our
disagree.
capitalist system right now allows for people to be fired if the company requires them to do something that's within the law. If the company is requiring them to do something that's outside the law and against the law, then that's obviously not capitalism.
Okay. I agree with what you just said. If it's inside the law, it's okay. But I think the point is on the conservative side of this argument is that it's not that it's not inside of the law, it's that it should not be inside of the law. If you're not legally allowed, which I don't think you should be legally allowed to let go of a woman because she chose to get an abortion, I don't think that's fair because that's her choice. I don't think that's fair for you to legally allow a company to fire someone for not
It's
getting a
public
vaccine.
health, my man. It's public health. Like a woman getting an abortion.
But when it came to the COVID vaccine in particular, it should never have been allowed to be a mandated thing.
Why?
Because it wasn't the COVID vaccine showed a lot of deficiencies in what it was originally supposed to accomplish. I'm not going to say it's the word. I'm not going to come out and be the conspiracy theorist that says it created all these major health problems for people, but it was not the most efficient vaccine that had ever came out. It was rushed.
It is an incredibly efficient vaccine.
Well, I mean, I've to this day not had COVID. I did not take the vaccine.
You don't
and
know
it
if
wasn't,
you've had COVID or not.
Well, that's a good point. But there's been a significant amount of people that have also gotten it that had the vaccine, and people that died from it when they had the vaccine.
Yeah. So of course, there's always going to be cases like that. But the point is that the people who got the vaccine are significantly less likely to die or go to the hospital. The data is clear on this. There were points in the middle of the pandemic where, like, the New York Times was tracking this, for example, that the unvaccinated were dying at 11 to 17 times higher rates than those of people who were vaccinated. So that's not like a coincidence, right? And it was worse for hospitalization. It was like 20 times more for people who didn't have the vaccine getting hospitalized than people that did. So that's not a coincidence. Of course, there are still going to be people who got vaccinated and died, right? That happens. But the evidence and the data and the studies are clear that the COVID vaccination was incredibly effective. It did what it wanted to do. It accomplished what we wanted it to accomplish. And that's why all these folks are walking around out here, and you don't nearly have as many COVID deaths as we did during the midst of the pandemic.
That and herd immunity has played a big part into it as well. But
we don't have herd immunity here in COVID.
I mean, would you say the majority of the country has had COVID at one point or another?
Yeah, but we recognize that with herd immunity, or excuse me, I should say with natural immunity, your immunity wears off faster than it does if you get a COVID vaccine. And with COVID vaccines, you can keep up the vaccine regimen. With natural immunity, you'd have to continue to get COVID and over and over and over and over again.
Okay. All right. So all right. Let me ask you a question. What is a more deadly thing, the flu or COVID?
COVID.
Is that in general? I'm asking that because I have not looked up the study.
Yeah, no. Like the COVID has a significantly higher death rate. It's significantly more infectious. It's not even close. The COVID is significantly more deadly than the flu. Like around, like on average, go ahead, sorry.
Good. No, you got it. Good.
On average, like around 60,000 people die, or less. It's less than that. It's like 30 to 50, I want to say, but don't quote me on the exact numbers. Die from the flu every single year, whereas COVID, has killed 1.2 million people for as long as we were tracking it, which was like the first couple of years of it.
Which is very true, but you're to the vaccine point. There's been a flu vaccine around for years, and the flu vaccine has not ever been a mandate to keep your job, ever.
Yeah, because the flu is not as contagious and not as deadly.
The flu is just as contagious as the coronavirus. It's maybe not be as deadly.
No, it's absolutely not as contagious as COVID.
But it's still at the same point. It's not a drastic enough difference for you to require someone to get a vaccine.
It's a very drastic difference.
Is it enough to require someone to get a vaccine?
Yes, in my view, yeah.
So then you do agree. So you believe in a mandate for the COVID vaccine?
I believe that if companies want to require it, they should be able to do that. If they want to preserve the health of their employees, they should be allowed to do that. What was that?
Do you believe they should be able to require a flu vaccine?
That kind of gets into a gray area of like, where do you put the cutoff of like, well, how deadly it is, how infectious it is.
I agree.
If a company wants to require a flu vaccine, then they're welcome to do that.
See, that again is the gray area thing. Like, all hell would break loose in this country if they did that. But
not really, because I don't think a lot of companies would require it.
I don't think they would either. But you're saying, like, I agree with your point on it's a gray area. it's a gray area to find a cutoff on anything with that. And
Yeah,
I guess it would be more of a medical
I think there's a gray
sense
area,
thing.
but I think that like companies should still be able to do that. And people are talking out how like hospitals require people to get the flu vaccine.
I understand. I work in the morning. I just wanted to get. I heard you say that and wanted a quick discussion on it.
All right, man. Well, hey, good luck at work tomorrow. Hope it all goes well, and I appreciate the conversation.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Angelina, thank you for the $2. Are you a filibuster because you've got because you got me speechless? Love the DNC. That was also another really good one, Angelina. That was like a political one, and I like the spin. As I said, you guys are getting creative with this stuff, man. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. That's really fun. Thank you for the $2. Alec, thank you for the $1. He says MAGA for life. I'm looking at your profile picture here. It tracks. Rebecca, thank you for the $5. Your future Discord group would love a vlog of you, Parker, Chris, and Dean going to a rage room. I would go to a rage room. I'd go to a rage room. Alexa, thank you for the $3. Watching your lives every day heals me a little. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Savannah, I appreciate the $2. I remember you saying a couple years ago that your dream was to become the president. That's crazy because my dream is to be the first lady. I had a double lung transplant a couple weeks ago and woke up to find out Trump won. Well, I'm glad that you're recovering well. And I'm so sorry to hear about that. And of course, waking up to Trump winning is obviously not great. But that was also another smooth one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like them. I'm all of these are like 8 out of 10 lines. I can't even lie. Melva, thank you for the $2. Don't read out loud. You got it. Thank you, Melva. I appreciate the kind words, and thank you for the $2. It means a lot that you're here, and I hope you can stay in the fight. Jade, thank you for the $2 on Cash App. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's very kind. All right, if you're MAGA, let me bring you up. We could talk. You can tell me why on earth you're MAGA or why you voted for Donald Trump. Rolling, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you. Look at this person. Very angry in the comments. Very angry. Very angry. Hello, bro. Oh, she left. Yeah, she was like in the comments, like screaming, like debate me, and then she left. What a terrible thing. If you're MAGA, let me know. I'll bring you up. Yeah, if you're MAGA, let me know. It didn't work. I'll give you another invite. I'll give you a shot. Venmo, Cash App, link in bio. Drop a follow if you haven't already. We're like, hold on. We're 19 followers away from 900 for the night. So drop a follow if you haven't already. Liz, come back here. Come here. Come back. You have to be on TikTok Live. We can't hear you. Come on. Come on. Get it together here. Come on. You were just talking a big talk, and now you can't come back on TikTok Live? And she left again. I don't think this is a it didn't work thing anymore, ladies and gents. I think this is Sinead Bo Connor. Okay, bro. All right, bro. Venmo, Cash App, link in bio. Drop a follow. You know the deal. Hello, bro.
Yo, buddy.
What's up, man? You vote for Trump?
How's it going? I did.
What state you
I
voted?
did. VA.
Okay, why?
Hold on 1 second. I don't want my phone to die. Whoop. All right.
Why are people saying not this guy? Do you have like a reputation for being annoying?
No, I just went on Parker's last night. I guess I got a rep already.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Beautiful. Let's talk about Trump, baby.
Okay, what about him? Why'd you vote for him?
I think it's undeniable. State of the country was just better under Trump. Like, it just was, man.
How so?
Everything was better. Inflation was lower. Median household income grew $6,000. Like, shit was good, man.
Okay, but why?
We
Like,
weren't
why
in
were things
wars.
good?
No new wars.
Why were things good?
The Middle East wasn't on fire. There was no fucking Palestine situation. There was no Ukraine
Completely
situation.
disagree with that. Why was it
Okay,
good?
well, Palestine was not as bad as it is now.
Yeah, but was that because of Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay, what did Donald Trump do to make sure that that didn't happen?
He was a deterrent against Iran.
How really?
Look, dude, Iran
attacked
funded
us
the
under Donald
Palestine
Trump.
situation when Biden lifted the tariffs on it.
Iran attacked us under Donald Trump.
Look.
So how can you possibly claim he's a deterrent against Iran if Iran quite literally attacked the United States under Trump?
Yeah, but there was no fucking full-scale war.
There's no full-scale war with Iran right now.
If there were a couple, I understand that. But he lifted the sanctions on Iran and allowed them to fund Hamas and the fucking Houthis.
So a lot of these sanctions were deemed illegal by the International Criminal Court?
What?
A lot of these sanctions that Donald Trump put into place were deemed illegal by the International Criminal Court, the ICC, because a lot of these sanctions targeted things like medicine, which you can't target medicine. Those are like basic goods that the people need.
Yeah, but look, man.
But again, I please answer, like,
how do you feel about the tariffs in Iran?
Trump a deterrent against Iran if Iran attacked us under Donald Trump? Clearly, they weren't that scared of him if they were shooting missiles at our soldiers.
Yes, but they weren't. There were like a couple missiles. They always do that shit, man. They're always doing that. But I thought he was a deterrent. It was not Iran directly. It was the fucking Houthis.
No. It was Iran, the country, not a subgroup. Not a proxy or anything like that. It was Iran.
Wasn't it Houthis from Iran?
No, it was
Iranian
Iran.
Soil?
It was Iran, the country.
Okay, well, dude, they're lobbing missiles out all the time. It's no different, really.
It is quite different. They're not lobbing out missiles under Joe Biden.
What are you talking about, man?
Iran has not attacked the United States under Joe Biden.
They're lobbing out missiles right now.
Iran has not attacked the United States under Joe Biden.
Dude, but let's look at the situation objectively. The Middle East is worse off now than it was 4 years ago, correct?
Yeah, I'd say there's more conflict in the Middle East, but that doesn't mean that it's because of Joe Biden or it's because of Donald Trump, right? Like wars happening around the world doesn't mean that it's because of the American president, because then by that definition, do you think that FDR is responsible for World War II?
Do you believe in strength?
Hold on.
Peace.
Do you think
strength?
that FDR is responsible for World War II?
No.
Okay. Do you blame him for World War II?
That's a completely dude. It's a different era.
Hold on. If your philosophy
it's a different era of foreign policy.
If your philosophy is that a war took place under Joe Biden and a war didn't happen under Donald Trump, thus it must be Joe Biden
this is a
responsible,
crazy extension of logic.
No, it's
not.
not.
Even close.
Then your philosophy
yes,
must be that FDR is responsible or holds some responsibility for World War II breaking out.
Dude, it's a different era. It's a different era of foreign policy.
Era doesn't change logic. Your logic here, your argument is that
logic.
Joe Biden.
It's not logic, buddy.
Dude. You're making a logical argument or attempting. You're saying my logic is that there was not this war under Donald Trump, but there is this war under Joe Biden, meaning that Joe Biden has responsibility for it. If that's your logic, you must apply that consistently.
No, dude, I don't apply that logic over the last 100 fucking years because it's a different world, my boy.
You only apply it when it's beneficial to you. So when Iran attacks us under Donald Trump, and they don't attack us under Joe Biden,
later,
you don't put that responsibility on Donald Trump.
Different.
Okay,
you don't deny it's a different
world.
Then
use it right. Then use that logic
where
right now.
Foreign policy is influenced over tweets.
Yeah. Then use this logic in the past 8 years.
How are you
the most relevant time that we can. Can you stop talking? Can you stop talking? In the past 8 years, Iran attacked us under Donald Trump. They did not attack us under Joe Biden. Man. So then by using your logic, that means that that Joe Biden is stronger and more scary to Iran than Donald Trump, right?
Sir, undeniably, the Middle East is worse off now than it was.
So this is
we can agree on that.
This is not this is not what I'm asking like at all. Right? You're not even responding to any of
You're asking a crazy extension of logic over FDR.
Yeah,
you're applying my logic to fucking FDR.
Yes, exactly. It's the logic is the American president responsible for the war? So
it's a different world.
Then please elaborate how Joe Biden is responsible. Please elaborate how Joe Biden's responsible for the Middle East and what's going on between Gaza and Israel.
Because man, they wait for somebody like Biden, for a corpse like Biden, who's inactionable as a human being. He doesn't do shit.
Do you have any evidence of this? Do you have any evidence of this?
Everything he says. What do you mean?
No, I'm asking for evidence that they waited specifically for Joe Biden to be president. I'm asking specifically for evidence that they waited for Joe Biden to be president.
Sharp?
Can you engage? Like, I don't think you're actually capable of engaging in a singular conversation. You can't follow, like, just have it back and forth.
Give me the question.
Do you have any evidence that Hamas waited for Joe Biden?
Yeah. What do you mean they attacked when he was in office?
Yeah, but does that mean
that
they
do
waited
anything
for Joe
other
Biden?
than wait? Dude, yes.
Okay, so
Look,
then when Hamas and Israel had scuffles under Donald Trump, what was that all about?
Dude, there's always scuffles in the Middle East.
Oh
if you're
my
going
God.
to say that there were some missiles lobbed,
this is the dumbest shit ever.
dude,
man.
stop it.
This is
Stop
the dumbest.
it.
No,
if
this
you're
is
going
the
to say it,
this
was
is
it
actually the
worse under
dumbest- no, I'm
Biden or
sorry.
Trump?
I'm sorry. This is the
Was it worse under Biden or
Yeah, this is the dumbest shit ever. This is the dumbest shit ever. Your
Dude, let's
Wi-Fi
talk
also
about
sucks.
Trump.
I can't even.
You want to talk about the Middle East?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm happy to. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the Middle East. But you're making really bad arguments. You're saying that Hamas
No, I
waited
said let's talk
for
about
Joe
Trump.
Biden because of X, Y, and Z, and I'm asking for evidence of your claim. This is just that you're thinking. You're just think. I think this.
Look
There's
at
actually
the
no
date
evidence
they
for that.
attacked.
So okay, but
Sir,
they also attacked.
sir,
Then by
the
that
date they
logic,
attacked,
then by
Joe
that logic,
Biden was in
Iran
office.
thinks. Then by that logic, Iran thinks that Donald Trump is weaker than Joe Biden because they attacked under Donald Trump, but they haven't under Joe Biden.
Dude, there was a full-scale attack.
Listen to the
October
words I'm
6th
saying.
happened
Listen to
under
the words
Biden.
I'm saying. Listen to it's. You just say October 6th. It's October 7th.
October
buddy.
7th, whatever.
There
October
you go.
7th.
I'm nuts.
Sorry, my dad's birthday is the 6th.
It's very easy to confuse. Use your logic that if they attacked under Joe Biden, but they didn't attack under Donald Trump, which means that Joe Biden's responsible and they think he's weak, then use that logic with Trump. If Iran attacked under Donald Trump, they didn't attack under Joe Biden, that must mean that they think that Donald Trump is weak, right?
When was the October 7th attack? Was it when Biden was in office or Trump?
Can you just respond to the
We
thing
can
I
move
just
on.
said to you?
We can move on.
Can you respond to what I just said to you?
Dude, what you just said is just factually untrue.
Wait,
Look at the dates
what did
they
I just say
attacked.
that was factually incorrect?
Dude, what do you mean?
What did I
You
say
said,
that was
did
factually
they
incorrect?
attack under Biden or Trump? What did you ask me?
So listening comprehension is also a struggle of yours, I see. So
Bro, is this a
if your
professional
logic,
debate
if
or
your
what?
argument is that under Joe Biden, Hamas attacked Israel, which must mean that Joe Biden bears responsibility and they think that he's weak, then by your same logic, Iran attacked us under Donald Trump, but they haven't attacked us under Joe Biden. So they must think that Donald Trump is weaker than Joe Biden, correct?
Harry, you're equating...
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
No? Okay, explain how
Because
explain
you're
how the logic is
equating you're
different here.
equating a couple missiles lobbed at like battleships to a fucking full-scale invasion.
Wait, you're conflating a war that wasn't an attack on the United States versus an attack on the
Equating.
United States. Iran actually attacked us. Hamas didn't attack us.
I understand that, Harry.
So they must
Oh,
think
dude.
that Iran must think that Donald Trump is weaker than Joe Biden.
Dude. Crazy. No, you're trying to force this. I'm not going to agree to that. We can move on.
You don't have to agree to it. I think that your logic is being exposed like right in front of our eyes. Like,
My
this is just
logic
not a
is
good
being
argument.
exposed. It's bananas to say the Middle East is better off now than it was.
No, I think that there's more conflict in the Middle East, but that doesn't mean that it's
Yeah,
the
dude,
fault
why do you
of the
think that
president
is?
of the United States.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
And Harry.
This was this was a poor argument from you in the get-go. I wonder what's going to happen next. But sure, let's move on.
What do you mean it was a poor argument?
You don't have any evidence for what you're saying. You're not actually backing.
I don't have evidence. Look at the state of the Middle East right now. Look at the state of...
You're trying to blame. Just listen to me very, very carefully. I'll try to make this as simple as possible as I
Make
can.
it real
for you, okay?
dumb for me.
I'm going to make it real dumb
Make
for you.
it real dumb
You're
for my
saying-
small brain.
You're saying that Joe Biden has some responsibility for what's happening in the Middle East. And I'm asking you, well, why do you
responsibility?
think
What does
that?
that
And you
mean?
said that, well, Hamas waited for Joe Biden because he's weak. And if you're using that same logic, then and they think that he's not scary. If you're using that same logic, then you must apply that to Iran attacking us under Trump, but not doing it under Joe Biden. But you fail to do that because you're trying to make a point.
Because
you're trying to make a point and bend the logic in favor of Donald Trump just to help your argument, just to help your side. It's not consistent whatsoever.
Dude,
Was
it's
that simple enough
consistent
for you?
because you're equating the general fucking scuffles and a full-scale invasion.
Hold on. That was not a scuffle. That was Iran, the country, attacking the United States. That's not a scuffle.
How long did it last?
That doesn't happen.
How long did it last?
How long did it last? 109 U.S. soldiers got traumatic brain injuries. That seems pretty goddamn significant to me.
Nah, I mean, that's what they... Look, dude.
That's what they say? That's what the Department of Defense and the military says?
Their ears hurt is what they said.
No. When you have traumatic brain injury, oh my God. When you have traumatic brain injuries,
this is just what they said.
Your ears don't just ring. You have a traumatic brain injury. It's what it sounds like. You have to go to the hospital and be treated.
Bro, I know what a TBI is.
I don't think you do. You just said that their ears hurt. You just said that their ears hurt.
Yeah, that's what they said. But,
That's not what they said.
That's just those are just their words.
That's not what they said.
Okay.
Where do you have any source?
Let's talk about.
Please, no, hold on.
Let's talk about Trump.
What source do you have? What source do you have on that?
Dude, I can't give you a fucking source.
Yes, you can.
I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah. So you have a phone. I'm sure you know how it works. You swipe up. You go to Google, and then you type in letters to form words, and then you can look up the source that you're looking for. So why don't you go do that?
Thanks for breaking that down for me.
Well, it seems like you didn't understand how to do that.
How do I search something on the internet, Harry?
Yeah, so go figure it out, buddy. Have fun. Go find a source for me, all right?
Am I going to need a keyboard?
You're going to need some basic intelligence, which maybe is not quite present.
Man,
so
I just don't know if I got that right now.
My man, go find a source, all right? Thank you, buddy.
Look, Harry, let's talk about policy.
I'm happy to talk about policy, but go find a source, all right? Please, appreciate you, man.
Let's talk about the state of the country.
Yeah.
Trump
go find
Biden.
a source. No. I'm sorry. I will not move off of this until you either say, hey, this doesn't exist, or you go try to find it. So either you go find the source where the military just said, oh, their ears hurt, or you
down right now.
You come back.
I'm sitting down right now.
Okay, go do it. Go find it.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. 19 U.S. soldiers diagnosed with traumatic brain injury. 19 U.S. troops. Okay, there we go.
Wait, 19?
19 troops, as in like...
I believe it's 109.
Well, Politico's out of their minds then, because it says 19 troops diagnosed with traumatic brain injury. But
so where in the article does it say that? Or excuse me, what is in the article?
It's the title of the article on Politico.
Yeah, so numbnuts, that's 2023.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so you got the date wrong.
Look, dude, I'm not the one that forced me to research this right now.
I'm so sorry. You have to go do.
I'm welcome to. I'm, dude. We can certainly talk about like Trump and policy and all these things.
Hold on. You made an
absurd
claim. You made an absurd claim that the military just claimed that their ears were ringing or their ears hurt. So please, you got to find a spot. You can concede, by the way. You can.
This is just what I heard. This is just what I heard. Look, man. Maybe they were TBIs. Maybe they were legit TBIs. But I had heard that their
well, then go find it where you heard it from. Either you concede that this doesn't
TBI.
exist. Either you can see that this doesn't exist and we don't move on, or you can go try to find out where you heard it from. All right,
dude. Again, I don't know where I heard it.
So maybe you shouldn't just cite something.
I can't find.
Maybe you shouldn't cite some information that you think you just heard and you can't find where you heard it from. That's just what I heard,
man. We can move on.
Okay, I heard that Teletubbies are roaming among us, and they're out there.
That's
you just
fake.
can't see them. It's like
that's
these.
fake.
Yeah, obviously. Numbnuts.
Bro, I was kidding. I was kidding.
Yeah, the point is like you don't just be like, oh, I heard it. which means, I'm going to repeat it in an argument.
Look, dude,
and then you try to
okay,
find a
yeah.
source for it, and then you cite an article from 2023.
You made me Google it. Let's
I
talk
made you
about
go find your
else.
source. So you can retract your statement, say, I take that back.
Look, dude, sure, maybe it was wrong. Maybe it was
great.
wrong.
Now, what do you want to talk about in regards to Trump?
How the country was better, man. The country was better. Everyone, do you know anybody in business?
Better?
Look, dude. How old are you?
22. How old are you? Probably should
30.
30? Okay.
Yes. Do you know anybody in business?
Yes.
Who do they vote for?
I don't know how every person in business voted, but I know a lot of them voted for Kamala Harris.
I don't know anybody in the business world that ever voted for Kamala.
Well, not a single
I don't know
Fortune 500.
anybody in the business world that ever voted for Obama.
Okay.
Do you know why this is true?
Single Fortune 500 CEO endorsed Donald Trump.
Okay, dude, you're talking about Fortune 500 CEOs. I'm talking about people with jobs. Talking about real guys that work
Fortune, just listen. Fortune 500 CEOs.
Yes. I'm not talking about Fortune 500
CEOs of Fortune 500 companies.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that those people have jobs. Also, as people are correctly pointing out in the chat, Mark Cuban.
Yeah, Mark Cuban is a billionaire. I'm not talking about billionaires.
He's a billionaire in business who
I'm talking
wasn't
about
given
people
anything
making
like Donald Trump was. He worked his way up.
100K plus a month. 100K plus a year.
Mark Cuban worked his way up in the business world. Bill Gates also donated to Kamala Harris. He worked his way up in the business world.
How did Mark Cuban vote before all this shit?
He actually voted for Nikki Haley in the primaries. He has voted Republican before.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so he's bipartisan, so he votes for both sides.
Look, Harry.
He endorsed Donald Trump in 2016.
Yeah, I know. You're proving my point.
How's that proving your point?
Because I said people in the business sector vote Republican traditionally.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why they do that?
But you asked me, do I know anybody in business that's voted for Kamala Harris? And I made the point that yes.
Do you know anybody in the business world right now?
Mark Cuban is in the business world right now.
Okay, I'm saying, do you know anybody personally? Do you have any friends in business?
Yes.
What do they do?
Well, I'm not going to reveal their information. I don't think that's fair.
Okay, well, did you just make that up?
No, I have people that work in business, but I'm not gonna like talk about what
you're not going to reveal their information. You don't have to tell me their names. Just tell me what jobs they do.
It's not mine to talk about on live.
So you're not saying their names.
I'm happy
just
to
say the jobs.
I'm happy to talk about myself, but I'm not going to talk.
Look, it's okay, Harry. It's you don't.
But my man,
Harry,
people are crazy out there. I'm not talking about people that I don't know if they're comfortable with me revealing that. That's all. It's just basic respect for the people I know. That's all.
You're not dropping their name though.
I don't care about names. If they don't want me to talk, some people are very particular about that stuff. I'd rather err on the side of caution.
Do you know anybody with a job that would be okay you citing their profession? Any profession.
You're asking me, do I know people you're asking me, do I know people in business that voted for Kamala Harris? Yes, I know people in business that voted for Kamala Harris. Without knowing their specific jobs, you can probably still go ahead and make your argument.
Okay. I will continue to make my argument. Harry, come on, man. Let's just be nice to each other. Let's be professional.
Just move along with your argument, right? Get there.
Can we be professional?
If you make an argument within like the next 5 seconds, as opposed to just like continuously talking, like,
okay,
get there.
I'll make an argument.
Go ahead.
I'll make an argument.
Go ahead.
Trump did a lot for this country. He had a lasting legacy, and it's showing right now, dude. We have the entire Supreme Court. We have the House. We have the Senate. We have it all, dude.
I don't know
why do you think that is?
Senate and the House a legacy when he lost the Senate and the House, and he also lost the House in the first. He lost the House twice.
Dude, what is it right now?
It's not a legacy. I'd say that you can say that it's because we have elections. So you can't call a House and the Senate his legacy because
I'm
those
calling
are
the Supreme Court his legacy.
But sure, if you want to call the Supreme Court that,
that's
then that's
incredible.
Fine. Sure, if you want to call the Supreme Court that, then that's fine.
That's a legacy.
Sure. How about the insurrection that took place on January 6th? Do you consider that part of his legacy?
The insurrection. Look, man, I don't agree with J6. I think J6 was bad on all sides. But I also...
What other side? What all sides? What are you talking about? Well, there's one side.
It's bad for everybody, dude. It was bad for everybody. It was bad for Democrats. It was bad for Republicans.
Okay.
We can agree on that.
Sure.
I just look, man. I don't get down with J6. I never did get down with J6. But listen, what do you think of mail-in ballots in elections? Do you think
they're
they've
fine.
traditionally been good for elections?
Yep. They're fine.
That's hilarious. Come on, Harry.
Do you have any evidence that they're not?
Yes, man. What do you mean?
Okay,
Look at
what
France.
evidence?
Why
What
did they go
evidence?
back to paper ballots?
We've always had paper ballots. We still
No,
have
why
paper
did
ballots.
France go back to paper ballots?
Oh, I don't care what France does.
Because of fucking mail-ins.
This is
Any
not evidence
election
this is not evidence
that's
of
had
widespread.
mail-ins.
First of all,
Look,
France
dude.
goes back to
Any-
maybe they did. I don't know, but I'm asking
They
for
did.
widespread evidence. I'm asking for widespread evidence of mail-in fraud here in the United States.
Look, man, we've only had now 2 elections with mail-ins on a wide scale.
That's not true.
The
There were 5
first-
states before 2020 that used almost exclusively mail-in ballots. There were
Dude.
states like Utah
Dude,
and like
stop
Oregon
it.
and stuff like that.
Stop it. 2020 was
sorry.
the
No,
first
I'm sorry.
election
That's the case.
on a dude, stop it. For the presidential election. I'm not talking
Yeah, these
about
are all
local
run on
elections.
states levels. So these are all states doing it. So it's the first time
I'm not
that
talking
mail-in
about
ballots-
local elections.
It's the first time that mail-in ballots were used to that level in a federal
presidential
election, but mail-in
election.
ballots were
Yes,
still
it was.
available prior to that point.
Dude, for like troops and shit.
Troops have mail-in ballots. They've had it for a long time.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. But it was
If you
mail-ins
just
were
stop talking,
primarily
maybe
for
you
like
could hear
troops
me.
and shit.
Maybe you can hear me if you stop talking.
Okay, go ahead.
So mail-in ballots were used before 2020. It's the first time it was on that scale, but they were used prior. States had mail-in ballots. And there's no evidence of widespread fraud. So you can say, oh, well, this is
Harry,
the first time in
just look,
American
man.
history that this was used on a federal level in this scale. But I'm asking, do you have any evidence of widespread fraud via mail?
Let me make my case and I will answer your question right now.
There's no other case to make other than evidence.
Look, dude, I can just listen to me. Can you do
my
that?
God. If you
do
speak
that?
at like 1.25, what you're doing right now, because God, we got to speed this up.
Okay, I'll speed it up.
Thank you.
Do you think? Well, dude, you can't. Nobody in their right mind thinks that mail-ins have ever been good for elections. Nobody in their right mind. Nobody that's ever seen elections. Nobody that's ever fucking been around elections, pre-mail-in and post-mail-in, ever thinks that mail-ins are a good route, dude. Nobody thinks that.
I think that.
That's crazy.
Do you have any
Okay.
evidence? Do you have any evidence that they're not?
Harry, let me say, the first election where
Holy fuck.
mail-ins
Okay,
are
no, I'm
used on
sorry.
a wide scale.
No. This is the only question you have to answer right now. You don't have to walk us down, well, this election had more mail-in than ever. Do you have evidence of mail-in fraud?
I think it's pretty fishy that the first election where there are mail-ins.
No.
Let me paint the picture.
I don't need you to paint a picture. There's no picture painting. We're not doing crayons right
Look,
now.
I can answer
Just
your
give
question
me evidence.
if you can
Do you have
listen.
evidence? Do you have evidence? Yes or no? Do you have evidence?
Nobody has it. Well,
Okay,
that's
so
not true.
So there you go. Done. Case closed. If you don't have evidence of something, you shouldn't go, well, maybe it's this.
Why would I have evidence of it, Harry?
Because if it's such a compromised system that's just so ineffective that shouldn't be in use, you'd think that you'd be able to provide something to me and the people watching that it's actually a bad system, yet you can't.
Look, I
because there
can.
is no
Yeah, I can
evidence.
lay that out for you if you'll let me speak.
Do you have evidence?
Are you gonna let me speak,
Do you have evidence?
dude? What is happening?
Do you have evidence?
Is this a debate?
Dia, thank you for the subscription. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you have evidence? If you have evidence, you can lay out the evidence. If you don't, then I'm sorry. I'm not.
Then you're
let you
gonna
just,
silence me. If you
yeah,
don't like my
we're
answer,
either going to
you're
move on to another
silence me?
topic. Yeah, 100%. Yes, sure. Whatever you want to define it. Yeah.
I just thought this was like a debate channel.
Yeah, it is. But you actually have to provide evidence. You can't just say that I think I think unicorns exist. And I say, okay, why do you think that? And you just be like,
Look, dude,
well,
I think
it just seems
anybody-
kind of fishy.
Look, man, listen. I think anybody looking at the situation objectively would
Holy
think
fuck.
it at least looked a little fishy. Joe Biden got more votes than any president in the history of elections.
There's
He
more
got more
people
votes
voting
than
than ever
anybody.
before. Yep. There's more people
The
voting than ever
numbers
before.
didn't match up this time.
They're
And you
going
don't
to be
think
really
they're
close. They're going to be really
the
close.
first time that mail-ins are used on a wide scale in a presidential election. You don't
So,
think
wait,
there could have
just out of curiosity.
potentially been some monkey business? I'm just saying potentially.
Yeah,
based
so you
on
don't
the
have,
evidence of what mail-ins have done to elections
You don't have
traditionally.
any evidence of that. Number one, we
Dude, I
continue
do,
to see
though.
that you do not. We continue to see that
Dude,
you have no evidence.
why
to
did
actually
France go
up
back
your-
to paper
Just
ballots?
please.
Because
I don't
mail-ins
know
are
what
bad.
France is doing. I don't know why France is doing
Because
that. I couldn't care
mail-ins
less why
are
France
bad.
is doing that. I couldn't care less why France is a different country than us. If they want to do that, that's their right. There are countries out there that probably vote by mail, right?
That is the evidence, dude.
Never go to law
An
school.
entire
Never go to law
country
school.
bailed on mail-ins
Never
because
go
they
to
were
law school.
trash.
Never go to law school. Never go to law school. Never go to law school. Because if you're like, if that's what you deem evidence of like a massive conspiracy in the United States, then God help you. Your logical reasoning is not great. Go do
That's
a
not my
crossword
evidence.
every once
I'm
in a
just-
while.
dude, this- I'm just
go solve
drawing
a
a
riddle. Go
conclusion.
do a crossword every once in a while. So if you don't have evidence, then
Dude.
there's nothing I can do for you. You're just
We
saying,
can
"Oh, I
play chess
suspect something."
sometimes.
You're like, "I suspect something to be fishy." I just, I think that there's something going on. But you don't actually have any evidence of that, which is a problem.
Dude.
And also, 2020
Yeah,
was
it's
a high
fucking
participation. Can you be
speculation,
quiet?
Harry. I'm speculating.
Can you be
I was
quiet?
clear about that.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you so much. 2020 was a high participation rate election. And the numbers in 2024 are going to be slightly similar,
highest.
probably a little bit lower than 2020, but it's going to be similar. Last time I checked, which was, I think, either yesterday or the day before, and votes are still being counted. There was 155 million votes in 2020. In 2024, there was like 147, 148 million that have been cast and counted, but yet only 95-ish% of the votes counted or haven't counted in the United States. They're still working on it, and more votes will be counted and added to the tallies. So there's nothing fishy here. You got to get out of this conspiracy crap and
It's dude. It's
base your beliefs
literally.
off
You asked
of
me to speculate.
fact, not fiction.
Again, I'm speculating, bro. We can talk about policy.
Why
and
the
shit.
fuck are we speculating? Why the hell are we speculating right now, Mama?
Because
Why
I
don't we
told
speak in-
you
why
I
don't we
was
speak in
speculating.
facts, man?
We
Why
can
don't we speak
talk
with
about
facts?
policy again.
Okay, let's talk
Yeah,
about
we can
policy.
do that.
Let's talk about policy. Can you name me 5 policies that Trump influenced to get passed when he was president that you like?
Dude, with the gotcha shit.
It's not a gotcha. It's a simple
Dude, with
question.
the gotchas.
It's a simple question. Can you name me
Dude,
5
yeah, I like
policies
the
that Donald Trump influenced to get passed when he was
I
president?
like the Tax and Jobs Act.
Okay.
I liked getting out of the Paris Climate Agreement. I
That wasn't a
thought
policy
zero
through
tolerance
Congress.
was effective. I thought remain in Mexico
Not a
was
policy through
effective.
Congress.
I thought he deregulated businesses appropriately.
What policies? I'm asking
America
for policies
first.
through Congress. I'm asking through
America
policies through
first
Congress.
trade policy.
Hey, buddy, I'm asking through
I
policies
thought
through
his
Congress.
tariffs were great.
Congress.
Look, dude.
Congress.
Dude,
Can you name me policies that you like that he got through
did
Congress?
Congress pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement?
No.
The Tax and Jobs Act.
Okay.
Zero
can you name me 4 more?
tolerance.
Can you name
Remain
zero
in
tolerance?
Mexico.
Zero tolerance was not passed through Congress. Neither was remain in Mexico.
It was an executive order.
Yeah, these are executive orders. I'm asking, can you name me 4 more policies that he influenced to get passed through Congress? that you like?
Dude, I named you fucking. How much policy do you want, man?
through Congress, my man, through Congress. It's not that hard. I'm not speaking in hieroglyphics right
Look,
now.
Harry, I'm telling you everything he did that I liked.
I
You
asked
hit me with the gotcha. I'm telling you everything
so just
he
to be
did that I
clear,
liked.
you only have 1 policy that he passed through Congress that you like.
Again, I can keep telling you the things that I liked about his presidency.
Yeah, through Congress. So policy through Congress. Go ahead.
Dude, can you name 5 policies Joe Biden pushed through Congress?
Yeah, absolutely. The American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, and the Inflation Reduction Act. Your turn.
You got the note sheet,
Your turn.
though.
No, there's no note sheet. I can close my
You
eyes
got the
and name
note
more if
sheet,
you'd like.
bro.
No, there's where are
You
the
got
notes?
the note
Where are the
sheet,
notes? Where are the notes?
You got the fact sheet.
Okay, 100%
You got the fact sheet.
All right, you're
Okay,
just
bro.
annoying.
It's
Goodbye.
like, listen.
All right, everybody. Yo, Jasmine, thank you for the $2. Mama, Trump supporter behind you. Love the DNC. Wait, you're a Trump supporter and you're supporting? I don't even know how to interpret that. Yo, Trista, thank you for the $5. Are you tired? You've been running through my mind all day. Another good one, Trista. You're like what, 2 for 2 tonight. Sydney, thank you for the $5. If I remember right, you're from NY, and that's close to my college, like the area that you're there from, where I go there in March. Would you possibly want to meet up and talk about politics? Because I'm potentially going into political science. I want to have as much education as I can. I can't commit to anything because I really just don't know what's going on. Like, life is kind of crazy. But again, as I said, like, good luck with whatever school you're trying to go to. That's amazing. Like, but the fact that you're like going to get to visit it, that's fantastic. Danielle, thank you for the $10. Thanks you for giving me hope for the future. Keep doing what you do. I hope you never give up. I appreciate you, Danielle. Thank you for being here. Claire, thank you for the $5. Please mock his mouth sounds. I can't even I don't even know. Elise, thank you for the the 2 cents. I saw a Pivot Dog toy the other day. If I got it, there's their PO box. They'd be able to send it to you for your dog. I know I don't have a PO box. Maybe I'll just have to go purchase it for my dog myself. Yo, Taylor, thank you for the $1. Last guess was a dummy. Here's $1 for your emotional labor. Well, I appreciate that, Taylor. God, these people can be a lot, can't they? Morgan, thank you for the $1. I have a corporate job as a retail buyer. I'm not a CEO and not a billionaire. I voted for Kamala. You can cite me to Connor. Well, there you go, Morgan. I don't know if that guy's still watching, but there you go. And Rebecca, great to see you. $15. In Washington State, we only vote by mail. It's how every state should do it. Better participation. Also, check your TikTok DM from me. No hurry. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, of course, as well. And I appreciate you. Lee, thank you for the $20. Hi, Harry. Here's my mail-in donation. Did it arrive okay? It arrived just fine, Lee. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Lillianne, thank you for the $5. This guy's a moron, so sorry you have to deal with people like him. What are your thoughts on abortion bans and their role in perpetuating the cycle of poverty? Thanks for all that you do. Well, first of all, I totally agree. But second of all, yeah, abortions are huge. Thank you, Happy, for the subscription. And huge in perpetuating poverty because, it puts young women or just women generally in a position where they may not be financially stable to take care of a kid or even financially stable to take 9 months out of their life to go have a kid. And it really hurts them. It hurts their ability to grow in the markets. And we even see one of the reasons why there's a huge wage gap in the United States is because women take time away from work to be pregnant and raise that child. And that's one of the main reasons. And that's why there's in countries like Iceland, for example, they have mandatory off time for men and women. So, women aren't starting behind men in the workforce and things like that. But just generally, yeah, if you have a low income woman and you're forcing that low income woman to take on a kid, you're relegating them to poverty. You're putting them in a situation where they literally cannot support themselves and that child, and it's just bad. Anyway, I could talk more in depth about it. I tried to go quickly, but anyway. Nicolette, thank you for the 98 cents. Debating equals speculating. According to that guy, yeah. Jasmine, thank you for the $2 for not getting my joke. I didn't get the joke, I gotta be honest. Look up the mama, a girl behind you meme. Huh. Kohl's is where I saw it. It's on sale too. Thank you, Elise. And then Lily just sent a $1 saying, "Mama, a MAGA behind you." I'm just not familiar with this. I can't even lie. This is not my knowledge area. Daisy, thank you for the $1. My pull up was great, but seems First Lady ain't for me. You don't know First Lady? Lisa, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate all that you do. Lisa, I appreciate you too. Thank you for being here. That's very, very kind. Ellie, thank you for the $10. I obviously I can't read that. I cannot read that, but I appreciate the $10. Linda, thank you for the $2. I appreciate you on Cash App. Karen, thank you for the $1. As a law school student, Sinead shouldn't apply. Yeah, and Linda also said, tell him to STFU and find it. Russell, thank you for the $1. Listen to the chat and kick him. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents. Allison, thank you for the $1 saying hi. Well, hello, Allison. And finally, Alicia, thank you for the $5 for the ladies, he says. Or she says, I should say. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap up the live there. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me. I know. But I got to go. It's Peloton. I got to go ride the Peloton and lift. So I'm going to go do that. And listen, I think there's a decent chance I won't be live tomorrow. I'd say it's 50-50 because, it's Friday night. I gotta go outside, I guess, right? Gotta go be in society. So it's Friday night. So, and NYC's fun on Fridays. That's all. Anyway, ladies and gents, you know. But if I am live tomorrow night, then you'll know I decided to not do that. So anyway, ladies, gents, boys and girls, thank you guys so much for tuning into the live. I appreciate you. Make sure to follow on TikTok. I appreciate you. It goes an incredibly long way. We also do these lives all the time. We post videos, all that good stuff. And make sure to follow on every social media platform. I post on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat. All of those links are in my TikTok bio. You can find all of those platforms there. My username on all platforms is also Harry J. Sisson, just the same username as I have on TikTok. But if you are on Blue Sky, I am also on Blue Sky under Real Harry J. Sisson. That's my username on Blue Sky. And I just created a Facebook account tonight because, again, somebody was impersonating me on Facebook. So make sure you're following the right Facebook account. I don't even know. I don't use Facebook, so this is like new to me. So I don't really know what the username is. I probably should know that, but it's connected to my Instagram account. So if you look up Harry J. Sisson, you probably should be able to find it. But yeah, on Blue Sky, my username is Real Harry J. Sisson. On everything else, it's Harry J. Sisson. But aside from all of that, aside from the self promos and all that stuff, ladies, gents, boys, and girls, I just hope you have a good day tomorrow. It's Friday, so enjoy your Friday. Have a good one. Go out if you want. See some friends if you want, or, stay in and enjoy yourself. Do whatever you got to do to take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, all that good stuff. And I believe I have somebody for you to raid. So Isaiah Martin is live right now. Isaiah R. Martin. He's a buddy of mine. He's doing TikTok live debates right now. So go say hi to Isaiah. Let him know that we appreciate him. Let him know that we appreciate the work that he's doing. Go show him some love in the chat. Say Harry Raid, Harry Raid, Harry Raid. His username is right there. I actually don't know who this other user is, but if Killer is saying they're good, I assume that they're good. But Isaiah R. Martin, that's my good friend. Or we have Cass as well. And I think Carbon may be live and other people may be live. So go support those people. Go say Harry Raid, Harry Raid, Harry Raid, all that good stuff. And everybody, thank you for your support, whether you're just watching, following, donating, whatever it might be. You mean the world to me. I hope you know that. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sleep well tonight. Please get some rest. Don't be like me. Don't go to bed at like 5 a.m. every night. Don't do that. Go to bed, sleep well, drink a lot of water, eat some good food, and all that good stuff. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. Enjoy yourselves. All right, everybody.